It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Can't wait to get after it with you guys. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, the loose cannon at the switches. Good to see you, fellas.
It's great to see you, big dog. How we feeling today? You good?
Yeah, not bad. Kind of energized. Maybe a little too warm for late April today, but we'll take it. We're inching closer, right? We've got some good stuff today. We'll have Adam Schefter on today, so this will be our last visit before the draft, so we'll try to get all the intel we can. We'll have our man Bobby Carpenter on at 1:30. We will have a final Hockey and Hounds today with Z. He's probably got a lot of better things to do, but he has agreed and was more than happy to jump on with us today at 2:30.
Curious what's next for Z. We got a nice vacation on deck. Like, those guys deserve it. Obviously, he wants to be playing out there in the postseason. I understand that. But now, that's put behind you to a certain degree. I got to ask him, what is next after you had such a great season?
Career.
How are you rewarding yourself? Hopefully it's somewhere with beautiful weather, good food, and some good views as well.
He's a top 5 player this year, top 5 points player who's not in the playoffs. Now, he's not. Sidney Crosby's in that group. I mean, Pasternak's in that group. Like, it's not a great club. It's a great career. It's a great season.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not the club you want to be in, where I was top 5 in points and the team didn't make the playoffs.
You want the best of both worlds. You want the individual stuff. You want the team success to come along with it. Z is the ultimate team guy. He's acknowledged a couple times with us that it is cool to see some of the stuff going on and how he's been talked about this year. He deserved every single bit of love and the flowers that he got. But at the end of the day, I'm sure he would exchange that for the Jackets being in the postseason right now. There's no doubt in my mind with just how he goes about his business.
So here's the question I need to ask him.
Yeah, what do you got?
Which isn't that great, but it just popped into my head. How much will he watch the playoffs?
He was the guy.
As a student of the game.
That said, throughout this process, throughout the last couple of weeks, I'm looking at the standings.
Well,
I'm looking
they
at
had investment.
But I'm just saying he still may be that guy to where he's tapped in. It's obviously what he loves. And so I'm always curious from athletes. I can't wait to hear you ask him that question, because I would be a guy, I think, that would do a total checkout. And just when we get to the end of the road, who's the champ? All right, let's get back in the lab. Like that would be me. But there may be some guys out there that are watching every single game and just sticking with the grind.
Yeah. So we'll do a final Hockey and Hounds visit with Zach Werenski at 2:30. It doesn't mean you'll stop hearing me talk about the doggies that need homes. And while you're at it, hop on whereimfrom.com and grab yourself some Hockey and Hounds gear, knowing that every penny of it will go to Central Ohio rescue organizations and shelters. And so please support that. We will have a lot to do with the draft today because we're getting so close, some guessing. It's becoming a little more educated guessing. The one thing that I do think about with the draft, Matty, and this doesn't happen very often because you are touting these guys, and they do deserve to be slanted towards the positive. But the big irony that I find sometimes with the draft, or as I've nicknamed it occasionally, the Glazapalooza, is that you want guys to feel like they're going into the NFL on a good feeling. They've all kind of earned this right to be talked about. But if you watch the draft over the years, it's a rarity. If you didn't know better, you'd think that every player that's drafted over 7 rounds is going to have a 10-year NFL career. It's built for that because, you know why? Because it's the potential of everyone. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to sit up there on ESPN or one of the national networks and say, this guy's a bust. I wouldn't take him. Now, I've heard other people say that. I've heard people that don't have as much to lose, guys like us, that could question whether Tua Tagovailoa was going to be a bust or not. Now, he's not a bust, but he hasn't lived up to everything. Now, he's had a million concussions and all that, and you feel awful for it. But that's the interesting part about it, is rarely will you hear, especially in the first round. Now, there could be a little bit of the talk about, well, that's a reach. You may hear that. But, Maddie, I can't recall too many saying that, no, this is a bad pick.
There usually isn't that when it comes to one specific guy. But when we do get to the end of the weekend, you will have articles written, guys on TV doing segments where they have the winners and losers of the draft and how they perceive that. And, hey, they drafted these guys, and that really doesn't make too much sense. The one that just popped into my mind is what we had with Detroit a couple years ago when they drafted Jack Campbell, I believe, the linebacker out of Iowa. And there were some people even pushing back on the Jahmyr Gibbs take there as well.
Yeah.
And we now know that worked out very well for Detroit, and they've been knocking on the door of a Super Bowl over the last few years. So this whole thing is an inexact science, and everybody sees things differently, especially when it comes to the evaluation of these prospects. You and I aren't breaking down film or any of that, but we watch a ton of ball, and we'll give a take on what we think of this guy and that guy. But there's been so many guys that have been touted as the next to do this or the next to do that, and it doesn't happen. And then you have guys that get looked over, and you're like, wait, how did they miss on this guy? Where did he come from? For the prospects themselves, it always comes down to me, the fit and where your team is and where you can fit in right away to help, because you can be the best running back in the world. If you get drafted high, you go to a team that does not have good playmakers or good offensive line, it's not going to matter. So no matter who you are, whether you're pick 1, whether you're pick 33, pick 27, whatever it is, you just got to hope that the team that drafted you is going to put you in the best position to ball right away, because that's usually when you strike gold in the draft, is not only acquiring a good talent, but having a game plan and having a lane for that player to get in. That way he can hit the ground running.
Absolutely, especially if you don't allow him to have to be the savior right away. I read this article this morning that, and we'll have Schefty on at 12:30, that Schefter explained why Mike Tomlin, this goes right to what you're saying about fit, that Mike Tomlin is the ideal coach to draft Shedeur Sanders. So now you're asking the right question, why? Why would he be the right one? And he said that short of Mike Tomlin, any other coach who drafts Sanders better be comfortable with his standing within the organization. Meaning, because if that team struggles and the fan base is calling for a coaching change, the speculation starts to swirl about Deion coming in and coaching his kid. Deion just finalized a 5-year, $50+ million contract extension. So you're probably reacting to this, well, that's not going to happen. Well, if you looked at his buyout, it's not overly restrictive. Mm-hmm. It isn't. It starts at $12 million if he leaves before the end of this year. It drops to $10 million if he leaves in 26, $6 million in 27, $4 million in 28, and you can do the math. It goes down from there. If Deion can't reinvent the wheel at Colorado without Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, and he starts to get an itch, and the NFL team that Shedeur's been drafted to starts to struggle, the logical move would be that Daddy Deion swoops in early on in his son's career. So it started me thinking, Maddie, is Mike Tomlin an unfireable head coach? Because if Shedeur goes to Pittsburgh and they don't do very well, and Shedeur maybe is Tomlin gone? It feels like even Steeler fan might be ready for a change, but then would Steeler fan want Deion Sanders? So I started thinking about there's only a few guys right now in the league, Maddie, that you would probably put in the category of unfireable. Andy Reid.
Yes.
Probably at this point, and I'm not saying just on success, sometimes it's early. Jim Harbaugh, unfireable. It's too early. Nick Sirianni, coming off a Super Bowl, probably unfireable. Sean McVay, thought he's one. Dan Campbell, even if the Lions don't recreate their success.
D'Amico
Ryans is unfireable?
I'm not there yet with him.
Ooh.
Isn't he 2 for 2 on playoff appearance?
Yeah, he's so young, though, and they got a young team. I don't
really
think
good defensive head coach.
Yeah, I don't think that they're feeling that type of pressure yet. Like, I think that'd have to be 2-3 years from now to where they really flopped for that discussion to pop up. I think what he was able to do year one.
I'm saying he is unfireable.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. I just think.
Oh, I'm saying that he's not in the top 5 of unfirables.
See, I think the discussion are we saying if they have one bad year? So let's say if Tomlin has they do draft Shedeur.
Yeah.
And they have one bad season. So let's say they win, I don't know, 4 or 5 games. I don't think they're moving on from
How about
Tomlin.
you make it the next 2 years?
Would they get rid of him?
I think
Andy Reid's a weird one because he may just retire. But
Yeah.
I think D'Amico's more unfireable than Harbaugh. 'Cause he just beat him in the playoffs.
how does Sirianni follows up this Super Bowl championship with 2 subpar years? It won't
The
happen.
noise was already out there prior to him winning the Super Bowl, so that would come back again.
Sean McVay's talked about moving on anyway from coaching, but I don't think you'd fire him if they have a bad year. Campbell, if he doesn't live up to last year, you're not firing him.
I just don't think, even if it's 2 years, that the Steelers would get rid of Mike Tomlin to hire specifically Deion Sanders. Deion is a complete unknown at this level as a head coach. I get how cool that would look and feel to have him coaching his son, but you got to be careful what you ask for when you go away from a guy like Mike Tomlin and trying to replace him with I don't know who. And to me, Deion wouldn't be that answer just for a feel-good story and a couple specials on SportsCenter.
Well, they may not look at it just to feel good. They may look at it as he's the guy to get the most out of his son. That there's no coach that would know him better than his dad.
I don't view it that way.
I'm just saying that could be another part of it.
Yeah, you know how highly I think of Mike Tomlin, and I think he's been one of those head coaches that's been caught in this window of time of bad quarterback play, and he's still provided a very, very safe floor for a team that has not had a real threat at quarterback for a few years. I'd also throw Harbaugh the other Harbaugh on that list.
John,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that the article is correct, and that if he goes to the Steelers, there's not the pressure of get rid of Tomlin, bring in Deion. If he goes to Cleveland, New York, there is that pressure, I would think. All right, we can ask Schefter about it because I thought it was very interesting to talk about that fit. And the more I think about it, it just feels like he's going to be there at 21 now, unless just the smoke is too thick. We'll come back. Brownies on the clock. And do they just have to worry about one thing, hitting a home run? They think they can do that. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
After 5 months of gray winter skies, we're all ready for beautiful spring color. It's only natural. Get to Oakland Nursery for an explosion of spring colors. Blooming shrubs, fragrant lilacs, hydrangeas, azaleas, and rhododendrons, and Central Ohio's largest selection of roses with thousands to choose from. Break out of winter's gray with spring's beautiful colors at Oakland Nursery and celebrate Oakland Nursery's 85 years of serving you. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Kia. Lease a new 2025 Kia K4, just $195 a month plus taxes and fees. Or choose low 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2025 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
1.9% for 60 months equals $18.37 per 1,000 with approved credit through Kia Motor Finance. 24-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile over. 2025 due. Excludes $250 dock fee, $400 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Two men. One is very white, fat, and bald. The other is not very white at all. Delightfully husky and getting bald. They have a radio show. It's good. T-Bone and Titus.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, starting May 12th.
The Fan.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a perfect afternoon with a high near 80 and lots of sunshine. Temperatures tonight will drop down into the mid-50s, mostly clear. For your Thursday, high in the low 80s, but that'll lead to pop-up showers and storms by the afternoon. Rain chances will pick back up on Friday, especially the afternoon and evening. Highs in the 70s. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
We will have a Guardians game to keep an eye on here as well. Yeah. Shark and I were talking this morning. And this would be the first Guardian sweep of the Yankees at home in 55 years.
About to bring the brooms out on them.
They've swept them before in New York. I think it was 2017. So the question is, do you bet into the history or away from it? The history would tell you the Yankees are winning today. If you haven't swept them at home in 55 years, and they have Carlos Rodon on the mound, who can be good. Ortiz is pitching for the Guards. So which way would you go with this?
I'm betting sweep.
You're going to bet on a sweep.
I'm betting sweep. Guards are doing it today. Manzardo is absolutely on one. He looks like Jim Thome.
I don't think he's playing today.
Well, rest day?
That's my sources.
That ain't good.
As a fantasy manager.
Cooking right now. Guards are 14-9.
Maybe he'll pinch hit.
Best record in the American League.
Because the lefty's on the mound.
Okay.
Am I tapping into that? Okay.
No, that's good information.
Now, doesn't mean he couldn't pinch hit if Rodon leaves the game.
Correct. You know what, Blanket? They're still bringing out the brooms.
All right. I was leaning to history, as they usually do.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, but I think it feels like more of a Yankee lay the run and a half. Maybe even bet the under. Maybe it's like a 5-3 game. Who knows? All right. So we got that to watch at 110.
Yeah, Reds too, even though they're
Oh, I'm sorry.
flopping.
Your team is playing at 110 as well.
Look, the Guards are the
Singer's undefeated.
The Guards are
Unbeaten.
the better story. They're the better story.
Yeah, Reds Marlins doesn't.
No, that's not moving the needle. I get it. Guards are best record in the American League right now. We got to give them their flowers.
So the other thought now that's, as we're getting close to 24 hours before the draft.
I'm ready.
That the odds are suggesting now that Shedeur does slide and the Steelers don't have to do a thing and they can just wait at 21 and get him.
You know what I thought of the other day? We had a very good conversation down at Radio Row with Thomas Dimitrov. And I would love to ask him right now the dynamics of a situation like this and what you just mentioned. That the relationships around the league from GM to GM, scouting department to scouting department, how much would you trust if you are Mike Tomlin and the gang at 21 that somebody's not going to come from behind you to leap over you to grab a guy like Shedeur or whoever it may be? Those things are so fascinating to me because what you're saying, I think, could definitely come into play tomorrow. If the Saints pass on Shedeur Sanders at 9, then you start looking up and down that row of teams, and there's a team or two to where you could say, yeah, maybe they would draft a quarterback, but there's not that slam dunk team that absolutely needs a guy. So the trust around the league, and we kind of talked to him about it, and he mentioned, like, yeah, you burn a bridge, and that pretty much does it, and your reputation around the league as far as trust goes is shot. But if you are the Steelers, that's no doubt something that could come into fruition tomorrow, is that kid could be right there at 21 waiting for you. And with the uncertainty around Aaron Rodgers right now, what do they do?
It brings me back to the point about the Browns, which is that while a month and a half ago, the quarterback-needy team had to take Shedeur Sanders, they don't now, and I don't think they will. The other part about it is, for me, the Browns, the whole thing about the draft, and I'm not saying teams don't reach, they reach all the time. It feels to me like your objective in the top 5 is to get what you'd call a sure thing, or as close to a sure thing as you can get. The quarterback-needy teams are all willing to throw anything at the wall, and just because the quarterback position's too important, and you do have to gamble, and some teams have more of a affinity to gamble than others. But I started thinking today about the Browns, and they have to hit a home run. Publicly, professionally, they have to feel good about that number 2 pick that he's, quote, a can't miss. And the more you think about it, that pick has to be Travis Hunter. Mike Tannenbaum came on ESPN the other day. It was making comparisons to Michael Jordan. Andrew Barry was making comparisons to Shohei Ohtani. So this is either the biggest smoke show ever, or that it just seems too obvious, and I'd be fine with it, and why wouldn't you? It doesn't mean he has to play 110 snaps. Like, he doesn't have to play both ways. Yeah. He can be a corner, lock down the best receiver, and then have the gadget plays, be a red zone guy, see how it goes. I don't think he's married to this. If they won't let me play both ways, I'm quitting. I think that was just kind of a little bravado there of how much he thinks of his abilities. But this has to be a home run pick, and I think either, and I'm not saying Abdul Carter wouldn't be a home run, but you rescued the Myles Garrett thing. The one narrative that we haven't completed, and I don't know if we ever would unless you tied up Myles Garrett and put a lie detector on him and said, why were you so damn happy about coming back, about the quarterback situation? Was that all for Flacco, or was it really just more about the money? And when you got the money, you had to be the company guy.
Well, he was asked on NFL Network, have they spoke to you about the quarterback plans? He said yes, and then he was asked, I believe, did you like what you heard? And he said yes. And maybe in some odd way, that is Joe Flacco, because of the ride that he took him on that year where they went to the postseason and Flacco came into that building and came into that city and was absolutely locked in. Maybe that is the guy. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that.
Could it have been, not that they duped him, but that he got caught up in that hype about Dak and thought maybe it was going to happen?
That would not surprise me if some of that was happening behind closed doors. No doubt.
And then he saw the money, is like, okay, I'm going to sign.
Oh, yeah, $40 million a year.
At least maybe he just bought the fact that they were hell-bent and motivated on rescuing the quarterback position with a veteran. It wasn't Flacco. Or the other part, and this would have been kind of the poor man's version of it, that he was caught up in thinking, we're going to at least get Cousins. So we're at least going to be competitive offensively with a veteran quarterback. I
could see how that
can't be a 40-year-old Flacco that would have got him to smile ear to ear.
I wouldn't think, but from Myles' perspective, since he's been in Cleveland, that's been one of the best seasons he's been a part of. Low percentage that would be the reason why, but I'm not going to ignore that. I think what you were saying about the pick tomorrow at 2 is where I'm leaning as well. Even though the temptation of pairing Myles Garrett with Abdul Carter, I can understand that wholeheartedly, because that would be, if Abdul Carter is what they're saying he's going to be, one of the most dynamic pass rushing duos in the sport, if not the most dynamic pass rushing duo in the sport, and in a division where you have Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and some really good playmakers all up and down the AFC North. You want to be able to heat up quarterbacks and try to disrupt their timing as much as you can. Travis Hunter, though, has the ability to help them out, I think, where they need help most right now, and that is on offense. Browns offense, dead last in the league a season ago in points per game. Their second leading receiver, Elijah Moore, he is a free agent right now. Judy and Njoku, great place to start. I think Travis Hunter can come in there, be your 1A, 1B wide receiver, make a bunch of noise. You give him a blow every once in a while, get him some Gatorade. Hey, we need you on third down, critical down. You're opposite Denzel Ward with Miles Hunting up front, and let's make some noise there. So they go Travis Hunter tomorrow. I'm all in.
I don't think they're going to sway from that. I don't. I'm not saying that if they took Abdul Carter, people would be like it's a bad pick. No. There's nobody in the world that would say that was a bad pick.
The foot stuff for me, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. That would worry me a bit. But to your point,
no one would.
They're not going to get crushed for that.
They would never get crushed for taking him. And the interesting part is they did trade for a guy in Deshaun who's, torn his Achilles twice now. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying injuries aren't thought about, but this seems to me, and we'll ask Schefter next in 2 minutes, about this feels like almost the lock of locks. We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-452-6262. That's 800-452-6262. Again, that's 800-452-6262.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com. Or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, this is great. We get the man a little more than 24 hours away. He is Adam Schefter, the senior NFL insider for ESPN on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline. All right, are you in pregame already? I mean, you've been doing this for so long. All the guesswork kind of goes away soon enough. But I'm going to ask you this. Are you a believer in tipping? If you get the pick before it's announced, where do you stand professionally on, hey, I have a duty, I have the information, I need to tweet this, I need to send it out, or do you wait till the announcement? How do you handle it?
Does it matter if I post a pick 60 seconds before it comes on air? Does it matter?
It shouldn't, but I know people that like to follow along on social media. The only reason I say it, Adam, is the drama of the draft. People do like the drama of it, and if they want to follow along on Twitter, and they also want to watch on TV, that sometimes they look at that as a spoiler and they don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and I don't know whether you're asking me whether you feel like it's my journalistic responsibility to be reporting information when I get, or whether I should be going along with the production. And
that is what I'm asking.
I've never, I just never. In my time at ESPN, I've always been of the mind that it's a production. It's a spectacle. The draft is an event. I'm not trying to steal the event, okay? Like last year, I knew when the Falcons came on the clock, I had gotten a text that Michael Penix was going to be the pick. If we go back and look at what I said on air, it was, I go, well, here come the Falcons, and they may have a surprise pick. I know they signed Kirk Cousins, but there are people who believe that they will be taking a quarterback here. Back to you, Greeny.
Oh, I like that.
Okay?
Yeah, I like that.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I like that. And I always leaned to your side. The viewer has the choice, and because the viewer wants the drama, they shut off social media and they just watch the show. I do think you have a duty if you have it, especially a guy in your position. There are other guys that are going to tweet it out, and you have to.
I don't care. I'm not worried about it. It's the one night of the year where I feel like I'm almost exempt from rushing to tweet. I don't need to tweet that the Cincinnati Bengals just drafted this player from that. That doesn't matter. Like, we're doing a TV show, and that to me is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Shepsy, I want to ask you about the latest and what you're hearing about the Browns' plans at 2. Is there still a lean towards Travis Hunter? And I guess this is a two-part question. So that first question about Travis Hunter, and what is your understanding of teams that have tried to call the Browns to get them to move off that 2 spot?
Yeah, well, first of all, that would surprise me. I mean, I think that if you're Andrew Berry, you don't come out at the press conference last week, compare Travis Hunter to Shohei Ohtani, and then turn around and trade the rights to go draft Shohei Ohtani. I don't think that plays real well in the city of Cleveland, nor around the league. Like, I'm not going to say, like, as a GM, this guy has a chance to be an unbelievable unicorn-type player, but we're going to trade the rights to him in a draft that's not considered deep in blue-chip prospects. Like, that doesn't make sense. I think that, by the way, I know that the Browns have gotten calls. They're fielding calls about number 2, but I think that they've also gotten calls from other teams seeing if they want to trade back up into the back of the first round. Like that's happened too. And the truth of the matter is, well, when all said and done, we'll see if they make any moves. But there's probably been as much interest in teams calling them to see if they would want to move back up.
I agree. And I totally agree with you on Travis Hunter. I think they have to hit a home run. They want to get as close to a sure thing as possible. And he would be the guy. And I agree with you. You can't sell it both ways. You can't sell it that we loved him so much, but we took a different guy. I think it's a lock. The other part is Shedeur. Are you in the camp of that he's more likely to be drafted in the top 9, or that he's more likely to be a slider and make it to 21, where the Steelers then would have their choice on whether they take him or not?
Look, here's what I would say. The 2 possibilities for him in the top 10 picks are 3 and 9. 3 the Giants, 9 the Saints. The way that I would break it down right now, I don't see New Orleans at 9. I think they're out on Shedeur. 3. I'm not expecting the Giants at 3 to pick Shedeur, but I'm not ruling it out because you can never rule these things out. It's the draft. Like, has John Mara told anybody that he does or doesn't want to take Shedeur at 3? Do we know that? Because if we don't know that, we can't fully decide what the lean is. Now again, people you're talking to, conventional wisdom, the logic says they're not going to take him at 3. That's what it feels like. But until that pick comes and goes, you just don't know. And so that's why I say I don't think they're going to take Shador at 3, but I'm not ruling it out. Makes sense?
Yeah, I hear you, Shefty. How comfortable are teams right now with Abdul Carter in this foot situation he's got going on?
I don't think it's a big concern. I think the Giants would happily take him. And by the way, back to Shador. So, don't think, but not ruling out 3. Don't expect 9. And then I think he's in play at 21. I think that is the spot where he definitely could go. And ultimately, if I was going to bet $1 today on where Shador Sanders is going to go, I would say 21.
Okay, I'm with you. We've all gone back and forth with this. Whether or not, I guess I would ask you this then: what has changed, if anything, in the Saints' mindset? Because that was kind of, I know when we talked to you last week, you said something doesn't smell right. There's things going on, and now a week has passed. What more do you know on their quarterback situation, why they wouldn't take him? Is it because they're not high on him, or things have settled down? Where is that?
I just think that the Saints, I believe they like other quarterbacks. And we never fully know because teams are not going to advertise their intentions. But the people I've spoken to believe that New Orleans really likes Jackson Dart in this draft. And I kind of think that that's kind of true. And I think they also like Tyler Shuck. I just think that they like those quarterbacks. That's kind of what I think.
Jalen Milroe, he's a guy that, the talent at Shefty, as you've seen with his legs, is just so sky high and through the roof. The potential, if he puts it all together, is tantalizing. What are you hearing about teams and maybe the risk they're willing to take to maybe come back into the first round to grab Jalen Milroe specifically?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be a 1.
Okay.
I think we're looking at Friday night for Jalen Milroe, rounds 2 and 3, probably 2. That'd be my guess. And teams are intoxicated by his ability, some of his ability. Obviously, he's got some room to grow, and it's going to take some time. But the team that drafts him immediately has the most dangerous running quarterback in the NFL.
Where do you think the first curveball might be thrown? Is it the Jaguars at 5? Do they stay and make the pick? If they do, could they draft Ashton Genty and draft the running back that high with already having ETN? Where do you anticipate maybe something unexpected happening?
It's funny. As you say that, I'm getting some funny texts from some funny GMs. But I would say it's hard to say that. I'll give you my first possibility would be 4. Is New England definitely taking Will Campbell like everybody says? I think so, but I don't know that yet. Jacksonville, I had in my Monday Intel column on ESPN Plus that everybody was for weeks speculating Mason Graham there. And I said Monday that Mason Graham would not be the pick. And I still think that that's the case. It's not going to be Mason Graham. So, again, where's that first surprise going to come? Somewhere in the first 10, maybe 4, maybe 5. But I think there's going to be a lot of surprises in this draft because these people are so evenly matched.
Yeah. Shefty, could James Cook and his situation right now have any impact on maybe what Buffalo does with their first-round pick and maybe taking a running back in the first round?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't think so. There's so many running backs in this draft. I don't know that'll be the deal. But I think at some point in time they'll draft a running back. I don't know that it'll be in round 1.
And he's just looking for new money, right?
Yeah, he wants a new deal.
Okay.
3 quarterbacks, 2 quarterbacks, 1 quarterback in the first round. Where would you be leaning?
Oh, boy. I have been on the under all along, but here's what I would say. We'll get a quarterback at 1, and if and when we get one at 21, then I think it's possible that New Orleans I'm just thinking here, maybe New Orleans, that somebody jumps back into round 1.
Or the Giants?
And that would give us 3. That would give us 3.
But if it's a team, you think it'd be the Saints more than the Giants?
I think I think it could be any of them. And it's hard to say. I think a team jumping back up is in play. I would just say that.
All right, man. This is almost as much fun as the draft. You're the best. Thanks for jumping on as usual. Good luck with everything. Have fun with it. And we'll certainly be in touch.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Have a great draft, and we'll be in touch here. We'll talk very soon.
Thanks. Adam Schefter with us, ESPN Senior NFL Insider on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right. I asked him about surprise pick. Peter Schrager of ESPN now did put out his final mock, and he does have a surprise pick in the top 5. We'll tell you what that is next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, people are officially going crazy over our sleek, black-framed windows. They change the entire look of a home.
Leslie, nobody believes that just black frames can change the look of a home.
It's like when Superman put on his black-framed glasses and became Clark Kent.
Wait a second. Clark Kent is Superman? Are you messing with me right now?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience gold helmet to gold jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/gold jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/gold jacket.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, a couple things. By the way, we'll have 2 more passes to give out today for Upper Deck Golf at the Shoe. Be listening closely, and we'll pass those out later.
It's good stuff from Shefty today. I mean, day before
what?
the draft,
it really was
pretty strong.
It was, and I really did like his take on. At first, I thought he was telling me that he was going to tip the picks. That if he got it, he was going to tweet it out. That's how I read it first. And then he came full circle with no, it's an event. This is the day that you said it yesterday. This is not, this guy got signed by this guy or this team. This is more of because that's what I was tapping into, which is the drama of it. People want to not be, when Tony Romo first started doing the amazing job of predicting plays, it was the first time any real analyst did that. Like, this is what's coming. I'm going to predict the play. I know the formation. Yeah. I know the team. And it was like a magic show. And we were all amazed. But then it got old because people like some drama in their sports. It's the same reason why I have a very hard time DVRing live events. Going back and watching the Masters. If I had, yes, you try to avoid it. In this world, it's very difficult to avoid the result. But people love to watch live sports, not knowing what's going on. And this is like the biggest non-game in the sports world.
Yeah, and so I'll be a guy tomorrow that I'll just have everything turned off. Like, it's that simple. Like, because Shefty and a couple of the other big NFL Twitter accounts are going to be potentially spoiling the picks, and that's fine. They want to get out in front of it. That's fine. I'm just going to make sure I'm off social media until that last pick is done. That's just how I'm going to avoid the spoilers, because I do genuinely love sometimes that element of surprise, or that pick that nobody saw coming, or when you see those graphics change and this team traded out, this team traded up, like all of that. I just want to go through that organically tomorrow. So yeah, I'll just have all the notifications and everything turned off for a couple hours.
Yeah, we could all deserve a break from it anyway.
That's real.
Old school.
That's real.
It's tough. Yeah. I'm not denying it's tough. I'm sitting there watching TV, laptop, phone, like we do it. I don't know if I would do it if this wasn't my job, but I would tell you that we all do it.
Sometimes you got to unplug. It's good for the soul. It really is.
And tomorrow night may be that night for the first round. And I like the fact that he said that he could kind of blur it a little bit, like, hey, I'm hearing we got a trade coming, because that draws you in. Mm-hmm. He's not giving you every detail.
Yeah.
So Schrager came out with his mock, and I view this as a surprise, and that's why I asked Schefter about it. If the Jacksonville Jaguars take Ashton Genty at 5, the running back from Boise State, and I know they got a new coach in Liam Cohn, and he loves offense, and he's looking for playmakers, and everyone's saying that this guy is the guy. But make no mistake, he's still a running back. They still get hit a lot. You can't predict injuries, I know. But that's a pretty bold move when you have ETN. And what it got me thinking, that what if they just swap and get a rookie running back who they think is probably an upgrade to ETN, and dump ETN onto a team that's a little more desperate for a running back, and they just basically get younger and better at running back. It's the only way I see that happening, and the teams that are being talked about would be the Bears, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, teams that might want to have a guy like Travis Etienne, a 26-year-old running back. Are you buying that he could be traded, or would they pair Genty with him?
I will buy that Etienne can go as high as 5 because throughout
Genty?
This process. Yes, I'm sorry. Genty could go as high as 5 because throughout this process, a lot of what I've seen is Genty attached to the Raiders, and that would be the 6th slot of the draft this come tomorrow. So him going that high won't surprise me. Also, getting to the ETN part, it's the last year of his deal. I think they picked up that 5th year option.
It is the last year of his rookie deal.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to flip him for something. I don't know what you're getting for ETN. I don't think it would be that much, but to replenish the well and get Genty in there, I would understand why they would want to do that. Get some balance to their offense. Brian Thomas Jr. was one of the best rookie playmakers in the league. They lost Evan Ingram this offseason. They lost Christian Kirk this offseason. So they need some juice there. And you brought up what I think is the biggest point in this is that their new head coach was the offensive coordinator for Tampa last year with Baker, and he was at Kentucky prior to that. He is a offensive-minded guy, and they want to do as much as they can to help out Trevor Lawrence become the quarterback that they think he can be with the way that they paid him. And their draft board, they may look at it right now and say there's depth elsewhere, right, where we could fill in whatever holes we have along the way. We're not going to pass up on what could be the guy at that position, even though the outlook of that is going to be a head scratcher for some people. But I do think coming off the heels of a team winning the Super Bowl that felt like it was driven by the running back position for the most part, there's no surprise to me that now the vibe around running backs is different. I mean, you have Saquon and Derrick Henry that were part of two of the best offenses last year. More importantly, Saquon was a part of a team that got it done and won the freaking Lombardi Trophy. So now the running back love is back in the NFL. When you look at what Genty did last year, it's no surprise to me that this dude's going to get picked very high, top 5, top 10. He ain't going to be waiting too long tomorrow night.
He's got 12 runs of 50-plus yards or more.
Just a monster.
He's the yards after contact king.
Yep.
Now,
that's what he put in his letter.
I would take Mason Graham there if I'm the Jags. I would not risk it. He's great. There's running back depth, but that's my point, is that he may be a one of one this year, that everyone says that he is absolutely the guy. But that would surprise me, and that's why I asked you after that. And like you said, you wouldn't be that surprised. Maybe the bigger surprise is if the Saints have suddenly calmed their waters at quarterback, or they are actually telling us that they even think Shedeur is too hyped if they don't take him at 9. What if another team calls up Jacksonville, like I said, and said, we want Genty. If you don't want him, we'll come up to 5. What if the Bears move from 10 to 5?
I could see the Bears being interested in some type of running back juice based off of their moves this offseason to really reinforce that offensive line. They made a lot of moves this offseason to bring in veteran offensive linemen to support Caleb Williams. I could see Bears at 10 going running back or tight end. I don't think they're done on offense, especially now with bringing in Ben Johnson as their new head coach, who was the OC for Detroit for the last couple of seasons. I could see them being interested in that. I don't know if they're going to move up to get Genty, though, because I think one of the Jaguars or the Raiders want Ashton Genty at 5 or 6.
That's what we had heard. There are more, I was watching more mock drafts last night, and there are more top offensive linemen that I think are going to go in the top 20 than I think people are anticipating. There's a lot of edge, a lot of defensive studs, running backs, quarterback. I get it. Even a tight end and Tyler Warren should be going top 20.
Colston Loveland might go top 22.
He probably will.
Yeah.
But I think that the non-sexy pick, and you heard Lapp say it on the show yesterday about Will Campbell. I almost stopped Lapp in his tracks, but I didn't want to spoil his thunder. I said, Lapp, he's not getting to 17. He's not.
To your point.
He can't.
There's teams that can get a lot of help down in the trenches. I'm never going to push back on any team that wants to build up their D-line or offensive line, because that's where you make a lot of noise.
All right, if you haven't making a lot of noise, you're just not excited about your life right now, you feel a little bit down, no energy, lack of motivation, Low T Centers Testosterone Therapy could be your solution. And for the rest of this month, the consultation is free. Treatment is covered by most health insurance. They will verify that for you. You can find a clinic near you. You can get treated from home. The most important thing is getting your numbers. There's power in the numbers. Find out where you land on the scale. And if you're not low on the scale, then good. You've ruled something out. But if you are, then all of a sudden they can help guide you and get you back to feeling your best. All you have to do is book it now at lowtcenter.com. And they have very conveniently located clinics. Meet a medical provider and just start feeling better. Like I said, the consultation is free this month. The treatment is tailor-made just for you. And so there's really no more reason to wait. If you're a guy out there listening and you're over 40, just do it. You're running low on energy. You're feeling off. LowTCenter.com is where you need to go. Get started at LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. All right, we come back top of the hour after a SportsCenter update. And the forgotten quarterback in this entire situation and how that may impact the draft. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
When it's time to ask life's biggest question, make sure your ring says it all. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and we've been helping couples say yes for over 78 years. From brilliant cuts to better prices, the quality and selection of our diamonds is unmatched. Because diamonds aren't just our business, they're our legacy. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Salmo Road or Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com. Bigger diamonds, better prices, guaranteed.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Guess what? It's driving season, friends. And my friends at Jermaine Lexus are ready for you with their most popular models on the lot and ready to go with special APRs as low as 3.99% up to 48 months or 4.49% up to 60 months with low lease payments starting at $389 per month on the 2025 NX. And if you're looking for a TX, they're finally available for immediate delivery. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-452-6262. That's 800 800-452-6262. Again, that's 800-452-6262.
Common Man here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Watching big events are more fun at Hollywood Casino. For example, there's this draft thing coming up. Large men get selected to move to different cities and play football. That's all I'm legally allowed to say. Not only do you get the excitement of on-site wagering and camaraderie, there's prizes to win at the Sportsbook. And sign up for Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on the house. Do it now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got day baseball starting up here in about 10 minutes for both the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Guardians. The Reds are in Miami wrapping up their series with the Marlins. Brady Singer faces Sandy Alcantara. You can hear the pregame right now over on ESPN Columbus. First pitch is at 1:10. The same time at Progressive Field, the Gardos go for the sweep against the New York Yankees. Luis Ortiz versus Carlos Rodon, the pitching matchup in that one. The Buckeye baseball team welcomes Akron to Bill Davis Stadium tonight at 6. You can hear that over on ESPN Columbus beginning at 5:50. And Rutgers forward Ace Bailey has declared for the NBA draft. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus with a home equity line of credit from BMI FCU. Visit bmifcu.org/home-equity.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, ins and outs this hour. Our boy BC will hop on at 1:30. Talk draft a lot more with him. So it's funny. I just got a text from a buddy of mine trying to guess who I was talking about with the forgotten quarterback. You're not going to guess it because it was partially a trick question in a way. I didn't mean it to be, but it probably came off that way. But, you know, they rank all these quarterbacks, and the one guy that I really liked is the kid that transferred from New Hampshire to Minnesota, Max Brosmer, who has not been talked about at all in any of mocks. Won't get drafted, and he's a gamer. He's a gamer. And he's 6'2", he's 220. He's got a whip, he can throw it. And since he played at Minnesota and transferred from New Hampshire, like there was a feeling like he's a little bit of an unknown. But that's not who I was talking about. So if you guessed that, that's not the right answer. The right answer is Cousin Kirk. And the fact that he attended the Falcons' voluntary workouts just goes to show you he's a company guy right now.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll always have a lot of respect for Kirk is that he'll play the game. He'll play the game, even though, you know, maybe behind closed doors or he's talking to his family and friends. He's like, this sucks. I feel wronged, whatever. However he may be, he's going to go out in front of the camera, show up, be a team guy, be a company guy, as you just said. And yeah, because I don't know if there's a lot of people that would handle it that way. Now, some people may hear that and go, well, when they're paying you $100 million or whatever it is, it's easier to play the game. But we've seen athletes in all different realms of sports get paid a lot of money and not be team guys. So Kirk Cousins, a lot of respect for me for how he's handled this situation.
It's a pretty notable deal. When you're but he is also navigating a little bit of a comeback still from the injury. Played a little hurt last year.
Yeah.
And so I don't know which way to lean, whether there's hope or uncertainty. I don't know. But there's a lot of scrutiny around it. And the decision is always tied to money. It usually is, especially with pro athletes. There's $27.5 million fully guaranteed on this contract. That financial commitment hangs over this deal. And so there are expectations when you make money, and there's also expectations that he'd be a cheap starter for somebody else. If Atlanta can unload him on another team and they could pay less, why wouldn't you take him? He's still got playmaking ability. He still has an arm. He still can make big throws. Yes, he can't move all that well.
He never really has been that guy, though.
No, but now you're even more worried.
And the hope is that when you have an injury, because sometimes this is the case, the year that you come back from it isn't the year that you really bounce back. It's the year after that. And so whoever it is that's going to bet on Kirk Cousins getting that bounce back done is going to just be taking a shot in the dark, because you just don't know based off where his age is. If he was 27, 28 years old, the belief in the bounce back would be a lot higher than what it is for him right now. So Diana Rossini today, who covers the NFL for The Athletic, she tweeted out this morning that the Steelers, Browns, and possibly Vikings could be involved in a trade involving Kirk Cousins, sources say. Minnesota is
still the Browns.
Yeah, she says Minnesota is looked at as the least likely scenario, given their preference to favor J.J. McCarthy, and Cousins would need to sign off on any deal he's involved in because he does have that no trade clause in there. Also being reported is that the Falcons are looking at whoever the team is that wants to bring him in via a trade, that they want him or that team to eat nearly half of the remaining guaranteed money in the deal. And so when you read that type of stuff, that to me kind of pushes the Browns out of this possibility, just based off of where they're at with their financial commitments to Deshaun and Myles Garrett and all that money that they have going on. I would be surprised, AR, if that's the team that goes out and trades for Kirk Cousins, especially now that you have that veteran in-house, or veterans in-house, if you want to consider Kenny Pickett that at this point in his career. So the quarterback room with Joe Flacco and Pickett doesn't feel to me that adding Kirk Cousins to that room would be the move. I think at some point this weekend that we could be talking about the Browns adding a rookie to that room. Kirk Cousins doesn't feel like the move to me, especially when you talk about Atlanta wanting, let's say, Cleveland, Minnesota, or Pittsburgh to eat half of the guaranteed money that's still left.
The trade is difficult. It is. It's a tough maneuver. But there are teams that you just pointed out that may need a veteran, not the Browns, because they just got Flacco. They got the veteran. That's why I don't see it. And you're right. The Vikings, they're really ready to sit McCarthy again.
I think
then maybe the other way to look at it, Matty, real quick, is would Cousins want to get into a potential situation that he's just coming out of? Yeah. And you said it right. He'd have to waive it. But is it better in his mind to say, I can beat out J.J. McCarthy versus I already have been beaten out by Michael Penix? So how do I'm 36 years old. I want to start again. I've got, 3 years left on his contract. And I feel like this leans more to the Steelers than it would, especially with the way Aaron Rodgers has treated this situation, and justifiably so. He's got apparently a lot on his plate, and the Steelers have to do what's best for them. And what they could do is, if they could get the Falcons down off their asking price, then I wouldn't see why Steeler fan wouldn't be like, if it comes down to Rodgers or Cousins, then it probably doesn't really truly matter, but they'd probably rather have Cousins.
Because the asking price is a two-part thing as well, because it's not only you having to take on the money, but it's the draft capital that you would have to give up to get Kirk as well. I think of the three teams that Diana Rossini is talking about, I would absolutely rank the Steelers 1, then the Vikings, and then the Browns as far as teams that are truly interested in making this happen. If a trade does happen for Kirk Cousins, I don't think it is going to happen until after round 1 and round 2 are done. Because if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm not taking the risk of getting sniped again, getting clipped again, and being in a situation where I was last year. And so he may be a man on an island and man without a home after this weekend, because I don't think that Kirk Cousins, if he sits back and he watches the Steelers at 21 tomorrow draft Shedeur Sanders, is going to say, you know what, that's where I want to go. I think this would have to come down to he has some type of intel from Minnesota side of things and he hears, yeah, JJ's just not recovering from this injury. He's just not ready for whatever reason, football-wise, and that we need you to come home and be our guy. I think that's the one situation he would sign off on. I just don't see him saying, yep, I'm going to Cleveland, or yep, I'm going to Pittsburgh if those teams draft a quarterback, especially if it's Pittsburgh in the first round.
Yeah, he's a little bit stuck here now, it feels like. The other wild scenario would be, and we don't know anything about Derek Carr's injury here with his shoulder. But I started to think, like Shefty told us the Saints aren't drafting Shedeur at 9.
That's a fail on my part, too. I should have asked Shefty about Derek Carr. Because he was interested last week as to, like, you could hear in his voice.
I asked him.
What did he say about where did this injury...
He didn't really speak on the specific injury. I asked him about the fishiness of it.
Right.
Like that a week ago we asked you about it. Have you dug into it anymore?
Yeah.
And the only thing he came up with was the result of they're not taking Shedeur. So I immediately just connected dots to that maybe the concern of the shoulder isn't as big as we originally thought. But if the Saints want to move off of him somehow, they can't if he's injured. So they're kind of stuck. Because I had people tell you, what about Cousins as a bridge quarterback in New Orleans? I'm like, until this Derek Carr thing gets ironed out, there's no reason to have two high-priced quarterbacks on their roster at the same time.
And would they trade him in the division, too? If you're Atlanta, that's the ultimate. Would he come back to haunt you? Question there. I would be surprised if that happens, too.
No, I think we're on it. I think if the Steelers... You're right. He probably wouldn't waive his no-trade clause if they draft Shedeur. And that's why I say he may just be stuck, and they'll have to pay him. They've already paid him a little bit anyway here with the roster bonus. And now Kirk Cousins has no real future, about to be 37 years old.
Yeah.
That's the one to watch, because that would impact what those teams do.
No doubt.
But that may come after the draft, so it won't impact the draft at all.
Yeah, I just don't think if you're the Steelers, regardless of what happens, you don't want to spend all that money that you spent to acquire DK Metcalf and have those weapons ready to go and have to rely on a Mason Rudolph all year. Like, Mason Rudolph's fine as a backup quarterback. They need something better in-house, whether that's Kirk Cousins, Rodgers, Shedeur Sanders. They got to come away with one of those three before we get rocking and rolling in the training camp and all that good stuff.
Ins and outs coming next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience Gold Helmet to Gold Jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through April 30th, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here to let you know that Clayton Homes Go Big and Go Home sales event is going on now. Go big this year with a new, affordable, energy-efficient, modern manufactured home. Clayton Homes is changing the way homes are built, making them affordable to buy and cost less to live in. Every Clayton-built home uses quality products from the world's most trusted brands and comes equipped with energy-smart features for year-round comfort and a lifetime of savings. The craftsmen at Clayton build their homes in state-of-the-art facilities to protect your new home from the elements during construction. Clayton Homes and Freedom Homes are ready to help you find your dream home. They're here to help answer all of your questions, from floor plans to design features. Check out their fully furnished new home models and see all the options available to create the perfect home for you. For a limited time, you can save even more on select homes during Clayton Homes Go Big and Go Home sales event. Don't wait. This event ends April 30th. Visit the local Clayton Homes near you or browse their limited time deals at gobigandgohomesale.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
As Ohio lawmakers continue to hammer out the details of the next state budget,
They need to hear from you about why fully and fairly funding Ohio's public schools is so important. Please call your state senator today. Together, we can achieve our vision of the excellent public schools all Ohio students deserve.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Common Man and Timmy are hosting afternoons together. Best friends, lots of jokes none of us understand. Not safe for work Instagram models. God help us.
Help! What should we do?
Weekdays at 3, starting May 12th.
The Fan.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number one in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health, in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see temperatures that reached near 80 this afternoon under sunny skies, mostly clear tonight, falling into the mid-50s. We'll start your Thursday off nice and dry, low 80s in the afternoon, but pop-up showers and storms become a possibility. Rain chances will continue into Friday with falling temperatures by the weekend. That's your latest weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Yes, it is. We'll keep you up to date on the Reds and Guards. Guards already down, in trouble in the first. Yeah, I feel like history may win. We'll see.
Mention that Red score, baby.
Oh, yeah, 1-0 Redlegs over the Marlins.
There we go.
Nice start for them. Maddie should be down in the 305.
Well, that's sunshine down there right now. Looks good. It's probably
You're getting plenty of sun here today. They got nothing on us today.
It's supposed to be beautiful. It's probably, 90 down there today?
Got an ocean, but,
that's
sand. Who needs that? Unless you're the guy who just bought a boat.
Oh, man.
All right, take it away, loose cannon.
All right. Are you in or out on QB-needy teams passing up on QBs in the round one this year because it is a weak quarterback class?
100%. 100%. It's a bad quarterback class as far as the hype, the can't miss. The vibes are not great. It's borderline brutalness. I hope somebody comes up with something here, but let's talk about it. Browns are probably not taking one at 2. The Giants, didn't Shefty tell us, passing on one at 3. These are quarterback needy teams. So why don't we just listen to what they're telling us? Now, I know we don't have the results. They may fool us. It happens all the time.
And also, what we can do is the two teams that you mentioned, AR, is follow their actions. Their actions have told us this all season that they're good on this quarterback class. Yeah. Both the Browns and the Giants have filled their quarterback room with a couple veterans each. The Giants brought in Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. The Browns brought in Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Those teams may take a flyer on a guy in the second, third, fourth round. But as far as thinking that they're going to find their right now starter, their actions are telling us that they don't think this is the draft to do it.
The weird one for me is when Shefty said that most of us feel like the best fit for Shedeur is either the Steelers at 21 or the Saints at 9. Kellen Moore's offense in New Orleans. You get a healthy quarterback because Carr, who knows? We just talked about him. And then, that's the one. So if Shefty's telling me right now he feels the Saints are not taking him, that means that the second highest rated quarterback in this draft has been passed by 3 quarterback-needy teams in the narrative. It may not happen. So to answer your original question, yes, these teams all seem to be waiting outside of Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm in on it as well, baby chat.
Are you in or out on staying up late to watch your favorite baseball team play on the West Coast?
I'm actually in on that because that's going to include a couple venues that I really enjoy. Like San Diego Stadium looks beautiful to me. Dodger Stadium is iconic. The Giants out there, like all the Cali teams, to me, I'm in on that. And it doesn't happen very often, right? For Reds, Guardians, they go out there a few times a year. So, no, I love a little late night baseball. Sometimes I don't make it. The game ends up watching me. But I'm going to grind out as many of those 27 outs as I possibly can.
I admire you for that. I'd be out on that. Even if I had money on one of the games, I'd more likely to wake up in the morning to see if I won or not. I'd probably catch the beginning, maybe scroll and catch a score, but I am not watching regular season baseball on the West Coast too often. There would have to be something strange happen. More to what you're saying, which is you just scroll through it, you fall asleep with it on, and then you wake up and there it is. I'm more likely to stay up late to watching a movie that I'm caught up in way too late than a baseball game.
Are you in or out on OSU losing both Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart as being addition by subtraction?
I mean, on the surface it is, because they didn't provide what they needed them to provide. I liked Stewart on the boards. I thought he was defending pretty well. But Bradshaw didn't come close to living up what we thought is catching Kentucky's, cast off. Like we thought, okay, wow, a 7'5" star. Goes to my theory of sometimes you have a lot to prove. You couldn't make it there. Let's show them why I should have made it there. It didn't really happen. Do I get as far as saying it's addition by subtraction? No, I don't think I can get that far. There are probably guys that they'll have that'll be an upgrade to them. But the more I look at it, Matty, is that it was just a big swing and a miss on Bradshaw. Yeah. And this is what college sports has become. Mm-hmm. That you have to do it. You have to try. And if you're Buckeye basketball, you're trying anything to get this thing going. And so on the surface, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. When they got him, it was exciting. Like on the paper, this was okay.
Both of them.
Let's coach them up. Let's get them going. But these are human beings. I have no idea what their motivation is or was or how they fit into the equation. But I don't think I can get to the addition part. It's not a huge loss. It doesn't seem like to lose them. That's the best way I could put it. I'm in on that part. But until I know how this roster is going to be constructed, I can't tell you that sending them away to open up two spots is an automatic win.
Yeah, I got to be out on it being an addition because of what AR just said. I was one of those people that absolutely thought that you lose a guy like Akpara, and he was a good player, right, with what he provided with some of the gritty stuff with rebounds and blocks and all those good things, that you would get guys coming from two of the elite programs around the sport, Kentucky and Duke, and having those guys come in and at least provide you with a safe floor and give you some consistency. Neither guy was able to do that. So without knowing exactly what we're getting and looking at that roster and saying this young guy is ready to step up in those positions, I got to be out on that, baby Chet.
Are you in or out on Brady Singer giving up a 2-run bomb in the bottom of the first?
That hurts me. Mm-hmm. That hurts me. I'm out on that.
Are you in or out on the return of the Ice Bucket Challenge? The University of South Carolina Mental Health Needs Discussion Club, rather, they have reignited the Ice Bucket Challenge for a good cause to spread awareness and probably raise money about mental health stuff. And now everyone's going back on social media, the high schoolers, the college kids, and they're dumping a bunch of buckets of water on their heads for likes.
I'm all in. Anything for a good cause.
You doing it?
Sign me up. Listen, ice baths to me,
you're all in.
Ice baths to me are not the worst thing. It's like that 30, 35-second window of time where your body is just shook. Once you get past that, it's really good for the mind, body, and soul. So I'm in on this because it's for a great cause.
No, they posted that.
Listen, it worked, so why wouldn't it work again? And to Maddie's point, however it works, even if it doesn't rake in what it did before, it's still better than nothing. There's still a good message to it. There's still something positive about it. I know that everything that happens on the internet comes off as self-serving and everyone's not in it for the right reasons. It can be more of just popularity and clicks and likes and all that. That's the world we live in. But yeah, I mean, if it worked once, why couldn't it work to some degree again? And there's probably a different. How long ago was that? How long ago was the first
years,
run?
hadn't it?
That was my sophomore year.
Okay, so it's a long time. 10 years, whatever. Or am I stretching
I wouldn't be surprised if that's long ago. I don't know exactly how long ago it was, but it feels like it was pretty far in the
So you're just doing it for a new generation of people that either didn't do it the first time, didn't want to do it again. Did it. You know you do it, Maddie. Everybody does it. Cole just did it, and he wants to do it again.
Come on, all the cool kids are doing it.
That's right.
All right, round it out here. Are you in or out on July football? The Hall of Fame just gave us a little bit of news here in the last hour. It's going to be Chargers and Lions in the Hall of Fame game on July 31st.
Really?
So I'm not even positive that the MLB trade deadline will have passed before we're going to have football. And in 2015, it was on August 9th. And it just progressively gotten closer and closer, and we've officially crossed the bridge.
Wow.
We are done with August, at least for this year. It's going to be July 31st, the Hall of Fame game.
I got to be out on this, AR. July football just does not feel right to me. Like, no knock to these other leagues that are out there, the UFL, XFL. I don't even really know what they're called anymore.
Knock them. You're not watching them.
I'm not watching
and neither
those.
am I.
And so July football just doesn't sit right in my soul right now. We at least have to get to mid-August, late August for me to really start feeling the football vibe. So I'm going to be out on a Hall of Fame game being played in July.
So I'm in on it because it's attached to Hall of Fame weekend. And so it's not just a standalone football game. They plopped it late summer. It's attached to something. Hall of Fame weekend is that weekend. So what's the game is Thursday, and then the Enshrinee's going on Saturday. So, and you know I love it and go up there every year now, thanks to my friends at Sugardale. And I feel like you said Lions and Chargers.
Yep.
It's got some appeal to it.
Two unfireable coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody's playing in that game.
That's true. I agree with you. When you attach July to it, it sounds weird. But if I tell you that the Hall of Fame weekend is like August 1st, then it makes sense to have to do it. All right. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Bobby Carpenter. And you know me, I'll throw him a little draft memory. We'll see how he handles it. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it with our friend Bobby Carpenter. The Morning Juice. My man, it's good to have you aboard, as always. Why don't we start with me saying congratulations on the unbelievable run you've had in the morning, what you've built with Beamer, and I believe you're leaving the time slot better than you found it, and congratulations on that. I know you've got challenges ahead, but I just wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate that, Rothman. We took it over in COVID and coming off some rough stuff with ESPN, so that was a little bumpy, but, I give a thank you to everybody listening. It was like when I left with you. I knew it was going to be in good hands with Matty Ice, so I was excited for you guys to move forward. This is a little different because, Beam and I are being forced to separate, which isn't something that we were all that excited about. But, hey, we're handing off a time slot that's first in men and second in adults. So there's really not a lot anywhere to go, vertically all that much. But you know what? Good for them, and I wish those guys the best.
I want to take you back to your draft, and you can tell me if I remember this correctly. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because Abdul Carter kind of comes into this draft with kind of not a mysterious foot thing, and I don't think it's going to affect him. So I want to ask you this. Listen, you were a 250-plus pound linebacker that could run and athletic, and you played on a very good team with good players, and you were very highly thought of. But I remember, how much were you kind of poked and prodded about that ankle? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. It was poked and prodded a lot. It was, not a pleasant situation, and everybody asked questions about it. And honestly, it lingered a little bit for me to get back to it. But it's something when these guys are young like this, and you're talking something that's a bone injury, it wasn't that big of a deal. And I think Abdul Carter will be fine. I mean, I watched him play throughout the season, and he was able to play at a high level. So I don't think that there's anything that could have happened to him that's going to be something that's going to impact his play, probably significantly this season or definitely moving forward.
Did you find, though, that you had to kind of defend it a little bit in the interviews or physically?
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously still top 18 pick, first rounder and all. It didn't hurt you in the draft, but were you worried that it might, or that you had to convince anybody that you were going to be fine?
Yeah, I mean, you had to sell it. Like, one of the times I told someone about it, and I was back at the Combine recheck, and they're like, well, how does it feel? I was like, it would feel a lot better if I was at home being able to work out on it than driving over here wasting my time for you to take a look at it. But, yeah, I mean, you've got to make sure, like, hey, I rehab every day. This is what I do. This is how I'm working at things. And, there's been a lot of advancements. Heck, even in the last, that's 20 years ago, Rothman. I mean, yeah. Heck, I mean, by now you probably got a new shoulder lined up, a new back, and a spare kidney sitting in the fridge ready to just pop on in there.
I got my eye on one.
After Bob, Tennessee gets off the clock, because it sounds like
has he been looking at your back, Matty, thinking he might cut that out with a spoon?
No.
Okay.
But whatever he needs, I got him. Once we get,
you read my mind. I got an eye on a very young, athletic, healthy kidney. Oh, man. Maybe
it's
liver.
A lot of nuts, a lot of broccoli.
Got it right here next to me as we speak. Once Tennessee gets done taking Cam Ward, because it seems like that's where it's going, Bob, is that Cam Ward's going to be down there in Nash Vegas. Shador watch, I think, will begin. It doesn't feel like Giants, Browns are going to do it at 2 or 3, but just talk about what you saw from him as a quarterback at the collegiate level the last couple of years, because they're just mixed vibes from a lot of different people as to what they think he will be in the league. What are your thoughts on what he can be in the league as a quarterback?
So I thought he was incredibly tough. I mean, he got hit a lot in Colorado. He stood his ground. He threw the ball well. People say he has limited film to evaluate from the pocket. I'm like, well, yeah, their offensive line wasn't all that great. So, yeah, he has to do more from out of the pocket. Now, can he do it in there? Well, that's where you got to develop it and you got to see. But I thought he was a tough guy. He can move. He throws the ball well. He hung in there, and I thought he threw the ball through hits. I think he honestly, and I've heard a couple other people echo this, so I feel a little justified in saying it, but I think he has a better upside than Cam Ward. Now, he hasn't played as much quarterback as Cam Ward, who was, had this long journey in college football. And if this was last year's draft, I think these guys would probably go considerably lower. But I do think there is a really nice upside in Shador, but he has to be put in the right situation. I don't know if he's somebody you want to throw out there off day one and just say, go do it. He did that at Colorado, and not that he can't, but I don't know if you want to develop him as a guy who can do it from the pocket as well. Like, you want to make sure you have a stable organization and the right things around him, because I honestly like him as a player. I know a lot of people have been turned off, and this and that. I think him having Dion as a dad is not a negative. It's just a thing. So you've got it's going to be something that's there, but he's been exposed to a lot of stuff that a lot of other guys haven't been. And so I think he might be able to kind of handle some of this outside criticism a little better than maybe most.
9 Buckeyes, I think, went in your draft. 9, 5 in the first round. Lot to live up to. Now, we have a lot of Buckeyes going in. Are you in the camp of, I don't know, 2 first-rounders, 1, 3? Where are you? Emeka being the first Buckeye, or could we see a lineman? Is JT going before Jack Sawyer? Like, where are you with the Buckeyes?
So there's so many. So it's one of many, Rothman.
That's right.
So it's tough to kind of pick of what that will look like. I think that Josh and Emeka will go in the first round. And then after that, I could see Trey. Some of it is going to be like where teams fit. I think Dallas likes Trey and Emeka a lot. I think Denver likes Trey a lot.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about him like he's Alvin Kamara, and Sean Payton just happens to be there.
Well, and that's the thing. I look at coaches that are creative with how they use guys because there's really not an elite, like, top, high-end, down-the-field receiver, like explosive guy. I mean, you can say Travis Hunter's that, but he's still raw and has a lot of work. So if you need an explosive guy, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs kind of paved that way, and Sean Payton's smart. He knows how to use him. Brian Schottenheimer, there's similarities there with how they call games. I think that he could maybe sneak in. I think Donovan Jackson could go higher than what people think, too, just depending on how people are ranking him. But I think it'll be 2, possibility of 3, but I'd say 2 is probably the favorite on the board right now significantly.
If you're Mike Tomlin and the gang over there in Pittsburgh and you have no clarity from Aaron Rodgers come tomorrow night, do you draft a quarterback and figure that out later, or do you continue to play the waiting game and pass on a quarterback and hope that Aaron Rodgers commits to you?
I think if there's a quarterback that you like that is there, you have to really ask yourself, how confident do you feel that Aaron's going to come play for you? I think if you're Pittsburgh, you have a lot to offer. You've got some good wide receivers. You've got a veteran defense. But I wouldn't reach for a guy. If someone fell there that you liked, but I'm not a believer. Like Shador, okay, but I don't know if you would want to put him in that environment and ask him to go lead a team like that that's kind of ready to win right now. That's a lot to ask a guy who hasn't played a ton of football over the course of his career, and especially just playing it from the pocket because their line was so bad. I'm not a Jackson Dart guy by any stretch. Jackson Dart to me is somebody that is athletic, looks pretty, can throw the ball a mile, great arm, accuracy. And I just want anybody to go put on the Florida tape at the end of the year. All you got to do is win that game and you're getting in the CFP. I mean, he threw some of the worst balls at the end of that game that I've ever seen. I mean, ever. I'm like, what are you doing? You're a guy that's supposed to be a veteran, a starter, all this stuff, first round draft pick, and you're just, I mean, you're Jay Cutler, you're Brett Favre against the Saints, Rothman. Like, just throwing it up, You
didn't just throw it up.
Oh, Jackson Dart, don't give me the win.
Jackson Dart. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you went back to Favre. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, maybe he did a little too, but Jackson Dart was just I went and watched it. I was like, this guy, he may have all the attributes that make me want to love him. His decision making is terrible. So I don't know if how much you can work on that, because there's some guys, a la Jameis Winston, who has all the tools and he wants to pray for less interceptions. I mean, you need to pray for discernment, brother, about you throwing it in 10 times, knowing that the best case is it's completed probably once, 4 of the others are picked, and 5 are almost picks. And there's guys that just can't say no, Rothman. It's their favorite mistake.
It is, and quarterback is the position where teams are desperate and they feel like they lean more towards the positives than the negatives, and we can coach it out of him and all that.
Smell that desperation.
Right. That's right.
It smells good.
It's college girls.
It smells like cigarettes.
You can smell desperation.
It's great. Hey, you want to get some ping pong later? You guys get a little ping pong tournament going?
Maddie's better than Ben. Maddie's kind of a sneaky good player.
I'm more of a pool guy, but I'm not bad at ping pong. I'm pretty good at pool, though, Bob.
All right. Well, I mean, I heard that's the path to success nowadays. So, we'll just climb the stairway to heaven on the pong table. We'll get that thing going. And Rothman, I mean, he's like the old school tennis pro, Matty. Yeah. He might just be luring you in until you start betting on it, and then all of a sudden you'll see how good he is.
Listen, the streets are saying that AR's taking over at pickleball up there at Turtle. That he's going to become the pickleball champ up there.
Just hearing a lot of dudes getting injured doing it. And a buddy of mine said this the other day. What did he say? He said it's big ping pong, not mini tennis.
Yeah. That's good. That sounds about right for you.
Yeah.
I knew you were a pickle guy. I thought it was more like a hide the pickle type of thing than a pickleball guy.
Spin the pickle?
Either way, it all works.
All right, my man. Be well. You going to just hunker down for the draft? What did you do in 2006?
I went and got drunk at my house with all my friends and family. It was pretty great. That way it helps ease the anxiety, Rothman. Like Chubbs right behind you, just easing the tension.
It's all in the hips. All in the hips. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Bob. Bobby Carpenter with us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We will come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and Ryan Day weighing in on his former quarterback and the rest of the Bucs. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Common Man here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Watching big events are more fun at Hollywood Casino. For example, there's this draft thing coming up. Large men get selected to move to different cities and play football. That's all I'm legally allowed to say. Not only do you get the excitement of on-site wagering and camaraderie, there's prizes to win at the Sportsbook. And sign up for Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on the house. Do it now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, radio listeners. The Fan is debuting a new lineup on May 12th. T-Bone and Tyvus hitting leadoff at 6. Bishop and Friends stays at 9. That's not new. Rothman and Ice at noon. You already knew that. Common Man and Timmy at 3. That's slightly different. Even more inappropriate, if that's possible. And Beamer is the new host of The Buckeye Show. You're welcome. Or we're sorry. Pick one. Get all the details at 971thefan.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
You know, we talked a lot about the quarterback situation and the Saints. The Saints are picking up Olave's fifth-year option. Did that just come out?
Wouldn't surprise me. I know Garrett Wilson got his fifth-year option picked up the other day. So, yeah, that seems appropriate.
Lock it down. Get him a quarterback.
Just hopefully get Olave healthy, too. He had that, pretty serious concussion last year.
It's not good.
Yeah,
not just that one. Several.
I know. And
supposedly.
You think about a couple of former Buckeyes that have dealt with that, and Denzel Ward and Cleveland's had that. And hopefully for Olave, that can get pushed to the side and it can just be about him out there making noise. I know he and Derek Carr haven't really connected the way that they thought they would, but we know what Olave is all about, and we know what Buckeye wide receivers do in the NFL more times than not. He's going to be, if he's healthy, one of those guys that continues to raise that flag for Ohio State as wide receiver U in the eyes of some. So, yeah, glad to hear that New Orleans has got themselves a good one down there in Olave. The dude can go.
All right, so Ryan Day sat down with Dom Taberi of 10 TV, and like a proud papa, he was excited for all the Buckeyes going in.
A big part of what they wanted to accomplish by coming to Ohio State was an opportunity to get to the NFL. That's going to happen for these guys this weekend, and I'm excited to see where they all go. It's all about the opportunity. Some have worked really, really hard to find themselves, where they are in terms of these mock drafts and how some of these organizations have rated them in terms of value. I've just got so much feedback from our guys and also just from the personnel in the NFL, just what Buckeye Nation already knows. These guys they're pros already. And so fired up to see, how the next chapter of their life begins. They just finished one and now they're about to start another. So, excited for them and looking forward to see where they all end up.
If I would have told you, this would be bold, because we just talked about it in the last segment with Bob, that if Travion Henderson goes before Emeka Egbuka, how big of an upset would that be in your mind? It's not something I thought about until we started talking about pairing him with
Denver.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, you were mentioning Denver. Yeah. It'd be a surprise for me. It would, because a lot of what I've seen is Emeka to, Houston or some of those teams, early 20s, mid.
Well, Houston
20s.
Would be after Denver.
Because Houston's at 25?
Houston's at 25. That's and by
Denver's
the way,
at 20?
Exactly what I'm looking at is that if Travion goes to Denver at 20 and Emeka would then... Now, the Emeka with C.J. Stroud to replace Diggs sounds awesome.
It does, yeah.
And especially after you mentioned the other day that, Tank Dell's rehabbing.
He's coming off
the knee.
Scary knee injury that happened, I think, in that Kansas City game last season. For Travion, though, there is some momentum and buzz out there that this could be a guy that does go in that first round. And I know Jeremy Fowler reported this morning that the Chiefs conducted a virtual call with Travion Henderson on Tuesday. Head coach Andy Reid was a part of the call. Jeremy Fowler also says that Henderson is considered a riser, and the Chiefs, who could be looking for more explosion in the backfield, are doing late homework on the position. So if you're Travion, that will be the dream, right? First round running back. you get a chance to go play with one of the best head coach quarterback combinations in the history of the league with Andy Reid and Mahomes. And if Andy Reid retires in a year or two, you're still going to have the chance to be attached to Mahomes and what could be and what should be probably an elite offense even post Andy Reid. So I thought that was very interesting that Jeremy Fowler from ESPN reported that this morning, that the Chiefs have been sniffing around and doing some homework on these running backs, but they did have a sit down virtually with old Travion Henderson.
And then the big question has always been, what will Will Howard be at the NFL level? Is he just an incredibly quality backup? Is he a great depth piece? Is he a future starter? He does have starter qualities for sure. He does. And Ryan Day mentioned that, and why wouldn't he, that he expects big things out of Will at the NFL level.
He's got a great football IQ. He's got great positivity. He's a mature man who is going to walk into an organization and just be a pro day one. And the ball, really has been coming out of his hands better and better. And you can see it by the way he played and his accuracy and efficiency in the playoffs. I think the best thing that, ever happened to Ohio State was Will Howard. I think the best thing that ever happened to Will Howard was Ohio State. I think it worked hand in hand. And I think now he's ready to go jump into an organization and take it and run, because he's going to learn fast and the guys are going to really gravitate to him.
Yeah. And the best thing that happened to both of them, the expanded playoff. They get a second chance to prove who they were as a team and who he is as a quarterback. He's not as hyped as Blake Bortles was, but that's kind of the comp, and Bortles didn't make it. So it's got to be one of those situations where if he does get drafted in, let's say, round 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, if it's the right place, he's got the size, he's got the toughness, he has the championship pedigree now, he's played under pressure, now he's thrown to NFL receivers, and so we will find out whether or not he's got it at the NFL level if he goes to the right system and has the right chance, which I think Ryan Day said it right. You're getting a pro and a guy that wants to prove that he can make it. He's 6'4", 235. Yeah. And he plays tough when he needs to. So he's kind of a sneaky pick, sneaky value pick.
My gut is telling me, and I could be wrong in this, but how do I want to phrase this? 2 guys that play the quarterback position that were attached to Ohio State at some point in time, and Quinn Ewers and Kyle McCord, I think Will's going to go before both of them. Quinn Ewers, I haven't heard anything about Quinn Ewers. Nothing as far as where he is going to go this weekend. So I think Will's going to get drafted before those guys and after the likes of Jackson Darden, Jalen Milroe. And I think 3rd round, that feels like an appropriate spot to grab a guy like that, especially if you're a team like the Rams and you have a guy that's aging, that doesn't have much time left, and you can mold Will behind the scenes for a couple of years and then hopefully roll him out there and be the guy. But I think Will's going to go before Kyle McCord and Quinn Ewers. What do you think of that? Would you take that bet?
I would probably say that bet would be the favorite. If you gave me value, like if you gave me plus money that Quinn Ewers would go before McCord, I might do it.
Okay. But you're with me on Will going before the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I mean, I'm going to say this at 1:53 on April 18th, and I'm going to find it in 15 years. I think my hot take on Will Howard, I think he finishes his career with a Super Bowl ring.
As a starter?
I think so.
He did say hot take.
That was, yes, but you can't have a hot take and then say, I think.
Shout out to AK.
You have to say, I know.
Oh, man.
That's it. It's counterintuitive to have a hot take that is littered with I thinks and maybes.
He said that on Friday when I was on.
Yeah, that's right. That was funny.
Oh, that's good stuff.
But we don't get to really know that for years.
He's a TV guy anyway.
He might get it.
Listen, I've seen crazier things happen. Nobody thought Brock Purdy was going to knock on the door of a Super Bowl as Mr. Irrelevant. You never know.
All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin.
Fellas, the Columbus Men's Clinic is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus. Did you know that their patients average 3 failures with other places before coming to the Columbus Men's Clinic? If you've been waiting, guys, to treat your low T or ED, or maybe you had a bad experience with yet another clinic that opened quickly and closed, it's time to get in there and move forward with your sex life, your career, and gym goals. They specialize in seeing guys who think they are out of luck regain hope that they can be successful in the bedroom and beyond. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been number 1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and get in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400, or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, we'll come back top of the hour, get into our third hour. We'll include Hockey and Hounds with Zach Wierenski at 2:30. But up next, Maddie, the ultimate excuse or reason. This is going to be great when you have to answer this. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
It's Lindsay's one and only trade-a-thon.
Trade up today and get $1,000 above market for your vehicle. Choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL or an all-wheel drive HRV LX or a CRV LX and pay just $299 a month. 3 models with one very low Lindsay price.
Trade up to the reliability of a new or certified Honda.
So lock in your price today. The one and only Lindsay Honda Trade-a-thon is back. See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is proud to be the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence Award for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got day baseball going on right now as both the Reds and Guardians are in action. Up at Progressive Field, Cleveland going for the sweep over the New York Yankees. It's not looking good, though, for them. Top of the third inning, they trail 4-1. Down in Miami, they're already in the top of the fifth. The Reds and the Marlins tied at 2. Austin wins with a solo shot for the Reds. Matt Mervis, a 2-run shot for Miami. The Buckeye baseball team welcoming Akron to Bill Davis Stadium tonight at 6. You can hear that one on ESPN Columbus beginning at 5:50. The Columbus Clippers at Lehigh Valley at 6:45 tonight. According to Darren Dreger, CBJ head coach Dean Evison will be Canada's head coach at the World Championships. Those get underway in Sweden May 9th. This one's sponsored by Whiskey War from High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, final hour of the program. Tomorrow we'll be zero in on all the odds and bets and everything. And if you missed Schefter from earlier today, we kind of we put him up against the wall today. Like we wanted answers, and he came with some today. More educated guesses, and that's what this is. But we'll replay some of that at 2:17, in case you missed it. I did see that Shador's draft odds now, which are falling like crazy. Like he was 2-1 to be a top 10 pick. Now he's almost 3-1. But his over-under on draft position is 21.5. And the heavy favorite is on the under, meaning he'll go 21 or higher. And that, because if he gets past the Steelers at 21, then two things are going on. Either teams do believe he's way overhyped and not a potential franchise quarterback, or there's something in the personality or something. I would lean more towards that it's a football thing, that it would be just that it's just we don't see it. That he checks a lot of floor boxes, but not a lot of ceiling.
Sometimes that's okay. And sometimes that is perfectly fine for me, right? To have that guy over the guy that's the high ceiling, kind of dude that puts you in a tough spot because he's going to make irresponsible plays and try to do too much. Sometimes having the safe floor guy is really good. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Anthony Richardson, to your point, was the ultimate traits guy. Like build a quarterback in a lab. That's kind of what you wanted to look like, him and Josh Allen. And for Anthony Richardson, he was a quarterback. He just didn't have any experience. And then you see him out there, because I think the number was between high school and his time at Florida, it was less than 20 starts that he had. And so you're asking that guy to go into the best league in the world and figure it out on the fly. That's a tough ask there. And so if I'm Shedeur, like, I don't know if there's a better situation to go into of the quarterback needy teams than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Browns, Giants, Saints. Like, you look at where the Steelers are, and if it's all about ball, like, that's where you want to go. And so that, to me, that's not the worst thing that could happen to Shedeur tomorrow night.
You nailed it on Richardson. He just wowed you big time without the experience. It was the 6'4", 245. It was a dynamic talent as a passionate runner in his college years, but he lacked two things that you can't lack at the NFL level, and that's accuracy and consistency. That will lose you football games in a heartbeat, and that's what's happened. And he went 4th overall. They felt he was a first-round talent,
which he was. Yeah. He just off raw God-given talent, he absolutely was that. And so you have that case, and then you have a guy, let's say.
Well, he also was the need a breather guy.
Yeah, that wasn't
that was tough. I don't know whether he's tapped out mentally or what.
That was tough. Yeah, that was.
Like, you're in a 3-point game and you're voluntarily taking yourself out.
You don't want that.
And sending Flacco in because I need a breather.
Yeah, at that position too, like that's not the move. And so you could have a guy like that who has all those traits and cannon of an arm and everything that you listed, but you're on the flip side of that, you have the opposite. And those guys like a Bo Nix can come in and he's a good athlete, doesn't have the greatest arm in the world, but Bo Nix had a ton of experience. And had a little bit of a veteran vibe to him right out of the gate because of how much football that he played. And that's really easy to trust if you're a guy like Sean Payton. And so the ceiling for a guy like Anthony Richardson is way higher than what it is for a guy like Bo Nix. But the opposite of that is the floor is so much safer with a Bo Nix type than it is an Anthony Richardson. And those guys sometimes have more success long-term than the guys that have the traits because they just never put it all together.
All right, Matty, here you go. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa.
Is that the Mark Andrews
Slow your
call?
roll.
Hold up,
Let me
player.
set it up.
He's excited over there.
Ravens tight end Mark Andrews.
Oh, no.
Released a statement on social media after losing, dropping that ball that you'll hear in a second. But he had not talked about his part of that loss until this week.
Okay.
He explained that he ran into fellow tight end Isaiah Likely on the 24-yard touchdown catch with 1:33 left, soaking his gloves. Andrews said he was uncertain whether to remove the gloves. I'm thinking, do I take it off? Do I not? It was so fast and so quick, it just happened. So, Matty.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The gloves are wet. Reason or excuse? And while you're thinking about that answer, hit it, Chester.
The Ravens break the huddle. Kylan Wallace splits wide to the left. Bateman wide to the right. Derrick Henry in the backfield. Isaiah Likely comes in motion, sets in the slot to the right. For the tie, the 2-point conversion. Lamar takes the snap, rolls to the right, throws, complete. No! Dropped it. Mark Andrews hit him in the hands. And Mark Andrews dropped it as he fell into the end zone.
Hit him in a horrible spot. The hands.
I will say, I tried. I couldn't find the hole, but I tried to hit the hole with the Favre interception when Bobby brought it up.
I know.
But he quickly transitioned back to Jackson Dart, and it just didn't make sense.
Listen, it's okay. AR and I have to take our medicine when it comes to those two clips. Mine is a lot fresher than yours is.
And I've heard that on this program about 100 times. So there's some catch-up that has to happen.
And look, I'm here for it. I can handle it. It's all good. It's painful, but I can handle it.
No, because you got Super Bowls.
I don't want to hear that from Mark Andrews, though. It's an excuse.
He did eventually say he should have caught
That's all I need to hear from you. Catch
so
it with your body. Catch it
the
with
gloves are wet out of this.
Yeah, catch it with your knees, your feet, your ears. I don't care. Catch the darn ball. He's been good to me. I'm kind of getting over it. I'm not going to sit here and act like having him back next year is the worst thing. I also would have understood if they decided to trade him because you do have Isaiah Likely, but a two-headed monster at tight end again with Lamar and the gang. I'm in on it. I've kind of forgiven him, but the heartbreak that I felt in that moment, it was sad. It was sad. It's brutal. Because it was so easy. That's why it hurt even more. Is the catch was so easy that it was like so insulting that he didn't catch the ball.
I hear that. If it's any consolation, which I know it's not, I do believe you would have lost anyway.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah, no. Now play the Favre clip because
no, wait a minute.
Since he decided to say that, play the Favre clip. There we go.
You guys are crazy.
Now he fires over the middle, intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter. I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
It's not even really. It's the call that I think is so good because the pain in both calls. The oh no in the Andrews part is them going through live heartbreak. The ending part of what we just heard is what makes that clip so classic.
We fumbled about 84 times in that game. We didn't really deserve to win the game. And I will tell you this, and I'll give myself my own treatment. Yeah. Longwell probably misses the kick anyway. Knowing so I'm not even entertaining the fact that if Favre didn't throw that back over the middle, that we would have won the game anyway.
What you were about to say, I kind of buy, but it's not like Josh Allen was blitzing us and going absolutely nuts.
I was saying
that game.
Okay, so here, the time that was left in that game.
I think it was a minute 32.
It was right around there. It was more than you originally thought. It was a minute 33.
Okay.
And they would have been down. You would have been tied.
Yeah.
So the Bills would only needed a field goal. So I was just trying to make you feel better.
No, I know.
Probably wouldn't have happened.
No.
For both of us.
Not at all. And Baby Chet's over there like, man, I just want my team to win some games in the playoffs.
I'm thinking of the compilation I can come up with for my team and how I can throw myself into this fire. I'm an equal opportunist. There's some material out there.
You know what would make me feel better is if you found that Russell Wilson pick six that he threw to Marlon Humphrey. We need to get that in.
Maddie.
Mr. Unlimited.
I am not going to sit here and have the multiple Super Bowl fan and the 6 Super Bowl fan over here try to compare
both thumbs
to a team that has never won one and hasn't been in one in 50 years or whatever, almost.
Told you, we're checking the boxes for you. The one before you die boxes, they're getting checked.
We got
the hole in one.
Yeah, which we compared. We didn't know what the odds are. When we played that game, that was so weird we played that game, was what would happen first, Vikes win a Super Bowl or I get a hole in one.
Mm-hmm.
And
we got you one.
The odds said it would have been Vikes winning a Super Bowl.
And then we're like, hey, you got a 14 14-win team in the regular season.
We got the tough one out of the way.
Is this the year for AR? Is this it?
Yeah, you knew. You just knew. Just wait.
Yeah.
That's
you called it. You called it when it came to your Vikings. You were all
with the Rams. I wish you had that clip. When we did our predictions that Friday or Thursday, when I knew we got the Rams, I didn't care whether we got them in Arizona or wherever. This is lock of the year. We are getting trashed. This is the worst matchup ever. All right, we're going to come back. Speaking of odds, I'll tell you the favorites on where they're going to land 3 through 10 in the NFL draft coming up tomorrow. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Guys, what's up? It's Matty Ice, and I'm here with Wendy's. And if you're looking for your next sandwich love, check out the Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich. This sandwich really has me feeling the heat, and it's packed with bold Cajun flavors that add that perfect little kick. Plus, it's topped with crispy onions that give it a satisfying crunch in every single bite. And did I mention, this is all on top of Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. So if you love that, you have to get your hands on this Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich before it's gone. For that little extra kick, it's got to be Wendy's. Open until midnight or later.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HinderMotorCompany.com.
Common Man here of Spring Cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading. This is the month to do it. Freshen your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. If you buy 4, you pay for 2. If you need 12, you pay for 6. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets, and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health, in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a perfect afternoon with a high near 80 and lots of sunshine. Temperatures tonight will drop down into the mid-50s, mostly clear. For your Thursday, high in the low 80s, but that'll lead to pop-up showers and storms by the afternoon. Rain chances will pick back up on Friday, especially the afternoon and evening. Highs in the 70s. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians down 4-1, top of the fourth right now to the Yankees. Folks, you can bet $5 at Bet365 and get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. So make sure you download the Bet365 app today. Cavs back in action tonight. AR taking on the Miami Heat up there in the land. I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell. Give me 4 3-pointers made for plus 125 juice for Spider Mitchell tonight in the playoffs.
All right, I'm still riding this Yankees minus a 1.5 bet. I just kind of bet into history since they haven't been swept in Cleveland in 55 years. Just thought that I would continue with that. So we'll see 4-1. And they're threatening as well. Judge on second. So the third overall pick.
Real quick, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, third overall pick, the favorite is overwhelmingly Abdul Carter. Fourth pick overall, favorite is Will Campbell. Fifth overall pick, remember this isn't team specific, just the spot. Fifth overall pick, the favorite is?
Ashton Genty.
Hey. 6, Armand Membu, but not an overwhelming favorite because it's getting a little dicey there at 6. At 7, they've got Membu also listed as the favorite.
Offensive tackle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A right tackle.
Right tackle, I got you.
Well, he'd be switching. Certain teams,
No, he was overwhelmingly majority right tackle, Mizzou.
I got you.
Let's go to number 9 because that's Michael Williams is the favorite at 9 now.
Pass rusher from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, not Shador.
Okay.
If you think Shador is going to the Saints at 9, you can get him at 10-1.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
if you think this is all smoke.
I don't think it's smoke either. I don't think so.
There you go. All right, earlier today, we had Adam Schefter on, and this was kind of like the day before the draft. Get as many answers as possible. Here's a clip of that.
Schefter, I want to ask you about the latest and what you're hearing about the Browns' plans at 2. Is there still a lean towards Travis Hunter? And I guess this is a 2-part question. So that first question about Travis Hunter, and what is your understanding of teams that have tried to call the Browns to get them to move off that 2 spot?
Yeah, well, first of all, that would surprise me. I mean, I think that if you're Andrew Berry, you don't come out at the press conference last week, compare Travis Hunter to Shohei Ohtani, and then turn around and trade the rights to go draft Shohei Ohtani. I don't think that plays real well in the city of Cleveland, nor around the league. Like, I'm not going to say, like, as a GM, this guy has a chance to be an unbelievable unicorn-type player, but we're going to trade the rights to him in a draft that's not considered deep in blue-chip prospects. Like, that doesn't make sense. I think that, by the way, I know that the Browns have gotten calls. They're fielding calls about number 2, but I think that they've also gotten calls from other teams seeing if they want to trade back up into the back of the first round. Like that's happened too. And the truth of the matter is, well, when all's said and done, we'll see if they make any moves. But there's probably been as much interest in teams calling them to see if they would want to move back up.
I agree. And I totally agree with you on Travis Hunter. I think they have to hit a home run. They want to get as close to a sure thing as possible. And he would be the guy. And I agree with you. You can't sell it both ways. You can't sell it that we loved him so much, but we took a different guy. I think it's a lock. The other part is Shador. Are you in the camp of that he's more likely to be drafted in the top 9, or that he's more likely to be a slider and make it to 21 where the Steelers then would have their choice on whether they take him or not?
Look, here's what I would say. The 2 possibilities for him in the top 10 picks are 3 and 9. 3 the Giants, 9 the Saints. The way that I would break it down right now, I don't see New Orleans at 9. I think they're out on Shador. 3, I'm not expecting the Giants at 3 to pick Shador, but I'm not ruling it out because you can never rule these things out. It's the draft. Like, has John Mara told anybody that he does or doesn't want to take Shador at 3? Do we know that? Because if we don't know that, we can't fully decide what the lean is. Now again, people you're talking to, conventional wisdom, the logic says they're not going to take him at 3. That's what it feels like. But until that pick comes and goes, you just don't know. And so that's why I say I don't think they're going to take Shador at 3, but I'm not ruling it out. makes sense. And by the way, not ruling out 3. Don't expect 9. And then I think he's in play at 21. I think that is the spot where he definitely could go. Ultimately, if I was going to bet $1 today on where Shedeur Sanders is going to go, I would say 21.
Okay, I'm with you. We've all gone back and forth with this. Whether or not, I guess I would ask you this then. What has changed, if anything, in the Saints' mindset? Because that was kind of, I know when we talked to you last week, you said, something doesn't smell right. There's things going on, and now a week has passed. What more do you know on their quarterback situation, why they wouldn't take him? Is it because they're not high on him, or things have settled down? Where is that?
I just think that the Saints, I believe they like other quarterbacks. And we never fully know because teams are not going to advertise their intentions. But the people I've spoken to believe that New Orleans really likes Jackson Dart in this draft. And I kind of think that that's kind of true. And I think they also like Tyler Shuck. I just think that they like those quarterbacks. That's kind of what I think.
Jalen Milroe, he's a guy that, the talent at Shefty, as you've seen with his legs, is just so sky high and through the roof. The potential, if he puts it all together, is tantalizing. What are you hearing about teams and maybe the risk they're willing to take to maybe come back into the first round to grab Jalen Milroe specifically?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be a 1.
Okay.
I think we're looking at Friday night for Jalen Milroe, rounds 2 and 3, probably 2. That'd be my guess. And teams are intoxicated by his ability, some of his ability. Obviously, he's got some room to grow, and it's going to take some time. But, the team that drafts him immediately has the most dangerous running quarterback in the NFL.
Where do you think the first curveball might be thrown? Is it the Jaguars at 5? Do they stay and make the pick? If they do, could they draft Ashton Genty and draft the running back that high with already having ETN? Where do you anticipate maybe something unexpected happening?
It's funny. As you say that, I'm getting some funny texts from some funny GMs. But I would say it's hard to say that. Like, I'll give you my first possibility would be 4. Is New England definitely taking Will Campbell like everybody says? I think so, but I don't know that yet. Jacksonville, I had in my Monday Intel column on ESPN Plus that everybody was for weeks speculating Mason Graham there. And I said Monday that Mason Graham would not be the pick. And I still think that that's the case. It's not going to be Mason Graham. So, again, where's that first surprise going to come? Somewhere in the first 10, maybe 4, maybe 5. But I think there's going to be a lot of surprises in this draft because these people are so evenly matched.
There you go. Adam Schefter, earlier today, leaning into a lot of the predictions that the quarterback slide may happen for Shedeur. We will come back in 2 minutes with Hockey and Hounds and the final visit and revisit into a very inspiring season for the Blue Jackets. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes who are going above and beyond in their communities. Newman Roofing wants to recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in their towns to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Stay tuned as we begin announcing the selected honorees who truly embody the spirit of Newman Roofing's commitment to community.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Hockey and Hounds.
Sponsored by Telhio Credit Union.
Now joining the boys, the lead dog on the blue line, Zach Werenski.
Yes, he is, and it's been a sensational season with Z. And yes, we wish we were talking hockey still. But it was one of the most inspiring seasons they've had in a long time. They've won 40 games. They barely missed. They played it through the finish line. Even after they got eliminated, they didn't disappoint the home crowd, and they skated right through the finish line, and he was a massive part of it off a career year. And he's with us now on Hockey and Hounds, brought to you by Telhio Credit Union all year. He's our friend, Zach Werenski. Z, thanks for the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Let me ask you this. Magical season or one that might have been? How, now that the dust has settled, how will you remember it?
Kind of a little bit of both, to be honest. Obviously, the support from, early in the season on, and just our fans and the way we battled this year. It's definitely special and all that, but it sucks not making it, and I felt like we had a team that could do some damage, so definitely a little bit unfortunate for sure.
Zia, I want to ask you personally what this season meant to you, just because of the year that you had individually. I know the team success isn't where you wanted it to be, but this was an all-timer for you in a Blue Jackets sweater. Just talk about that and what you were able to accomplish individually and how you will remember this season.
Yeah, definitely special. I mean, I think I had some goals that I set out to accomplish, and I did just that. So that's always rewarding. But it's hard to think back on it with missing the playoffs. Obviously, I feel like if you make the playoffs and season ends, first, second, third round, whatever it is, you definitely have a better taste in your mouth. So I feel like for me right now, I haven't really looked back on it too much. Still wishing we were playing, but at the end of the day, it was a special year, and proud of the work I put in over the years to get to this point, and hopefully I can just continue to play that way moving forward here.
Z, anything specifically that you're most proud of? I know that 82 points. You led the team in assists, points, ice time, power play points. You had career highs, the franchise marks that Maddie mentioned for a CBJ defenseman. The 59 ties Panarin for the most in franchise history in a single season. You played almost 27 minutes average of ice time. That's the most in franchise history throughout a full season. Where are you on maybe one that really stands out to you?
I think for me it was honestly just health. I missed one game this season for a minor injury, but I played 81 games, played a lot of minutes. I had no real minor injuries outside of that one game I missed, and I felt like I had a lot of energy most nights. I felt like I was in shape. I felt like, my groins, hip flexors, all that stuff felt good. So, all these points and goals are great, but you can't have those if you're not playing. So, I feel like my body held up well this year, and that's the most important thing for me.
What goes through your mind about separating the seasons? This one was uniquely bonded through tragedy, and you triumphed over it as a team. You came together as a team and maybe surprised a lot of people. And then you have to try, from like a fan standpoint, like pick this season up and transfer it to next season. That's not that easy. A lot of guys had career years, very good years. What is your thought process on that, kind of carrying the emotion or separating it and trying to live up to what you did this year? What's that challenge like?
Well, I mean, I feel like right now with where we're at and how we finished, I feel like there shouldn't be any lack of motivation going into the summer, right? I feel like we're more motivated than ever. Obviously, we were right there at the end of the season, but it wasn't good enough. So all these careers and points and all that stuff's great, but at the end of the day, it matters what you do in the playoffs. And, for us going into the summer, I feel like a lot of guys are motivated to have even better years next year, similar years. And and get this team in the right direction. So, yeah, I mean, I'm motivated. I know a lot of guys are, and I feel like we're going to be ready to go next year from game one.
You know, there's going to be conversation in the coming weeks and months about what the Blue Jackets should do in net, you know, at the goaltending position. Jet Greaves, Elvis, Tarasov, the guys that were in there for you this year. Z, what are your thoughts on the future of that and the guys that could potentially be there in net consistently next year and hopefully for years to come?
Yeah, we have trust in our goalies. You know, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's a team game, and yeah, no, I mean, Jet was unbelievable at the end of the season. He has been for, you know, all the games he's been up for, and then obviously Elvis, what he did this year, he was a beast for us in those, you know, in the middle of the season. So we have full trust in our goalies, and whatever happens, and I'm happy I'm not making that decision.
Dante Fabro, you can make the case that Nashville kind of gave up on him. We claimed him. He was fortunate to be with you, played hundreds of minutes together, led to a career year for him in goals with 9. Describe the connection you had with Dante Fabro.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think just even off the ice, just the way we bonded as friends, I think that definitely carries over to on the ice. Guy I like playing with, just plays a simple game, has a lot of skill, and he plays hard, right? And, you know, it's one of those things where obviously I'm a little surprised Nashville gave up on him like that, just in the type of player he is, but we'll take it. I'll take it. I love playing with him, and hopefully he's a Blue Jacket for a long time.
We were talking earlier just about, you know, NHL postseason right now and, you know, what's going on with that. And we were curious, how much of the playoffs will you watch, Z?
I've watched bits and pieces of it. I haven't really sat down for a full game, but I watched a little of the Toronto game at the end last night. You know, I haven't really watched any of the West games because they're so late, but I'll turn it off. I'm just sitting on the couch. But, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, so I like keeping up on the series and whatnot, but kind of nice to just take a break, get my mind off it.
Anybody you will be actively rooting for or against, team-wise?
Not really. No, I've usually there's like a team every year I kind of get behind, but yeah, just looking forward to some good hockey this year, and seems like so far it's kind of delivered. So just gonna watch as a fan and see what happens.
So what are we doing to decompress and relax? We got any nice dinner set up, vacation set up, golf trips coming up? What's next for Z and, you know, his time to get away from hockey for a little bit?
Yeah, no, I got a busy summer this year. I'm actually at the golf course now, teeing it up in like 20 minutes. So I'm doing that, and then I have one friend that gets married in Greece in June, so we're going to be over there for like 3 weeks, bouncing around, me and my fiance. Got a golf trip in Ireland, and then we get married in July. So just a busy summer, but obviously not losing sight of focus here. I'll be training and skating as well, so I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, way to tag it with that one, Z. Like, hey, this isn't just a glamour summer, right? Like, but it is a special summer, and I'm glad you mentioned it. And I will tell you, like, we tracked it, and I know I told you when I saw you at the arena that it's not you, me, Maddie. It's not us that got dogs adopted. It's the fact that we put a lot of good cosmic energy out there, and certainly we were able to showcase some animals in need and some shelter dogs, and I'm so proud that you're a part of that because it means so much to me, and I know you're a big animal lover, and we got at least, I don't know, I don't think there was any that didn't get adopted. Of all the ones we mentioned this year, I'll leave you with one more, and I'll be putting them out through the year on Hockey and Hounds and the Instagram, but Missy is a pup at gigi's.org, one of my favorites, just a pup, 3 months old, beautiful little black and white boxer mix, loves her toy, snuggling up. She's been waiting at the shelter for a home to call her own. She can't wait to share the love with somebody. She's great. Now, she will grow into a medium to large-sized dog, probably moderate to high energy levels. But right now, 3 months old, weighing about 15 to 20 pounds, and she's awesome. So Missy E is our dog today from gigi's.org. Please check her out. And I hope you just have an awesome summer. Thanks for this. Come back strong and healthy, and congrats early on the wedding, and best to you and your family.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for everything this year, and I'm going to miss it this summer, but I'll talk to you guys in the fall.
Thanks, Z.
Play well today. What's the goal today? What are we going after today?
I don't know. I don't really have a goal. It's still early. If I could shoot like, mid-80s, I'll be happy today.
Beautiful. break 90, get an 8 in front of that thing, and enjoy the weather, and have a great off season. Thanks, my man.
Appreciate it. Last thing I'll leave you guys with, I'm sitting here at the course, and I just looked at my cart number, and it's 13. So,
wow.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be a lucky day for me.
That's awesome. Yes, it will. No matter what, it'll be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks,
exactly.
Z.
See you guys.
Z. That's great.
Yeah.
Boy, that's cosmic stuff.
No doubt, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Tell Higher Credit Union, my friends there, 90 years of experience. They know how to put members first. I'm one of them. Find your trusted financial partner at telhio.org. Led the team in assists, points, ice time, power play points, 59 assists, 23 goals, 82 points, all career highs, franchise marks for a CBJ defenseman.
Baller.
Became a leader on and off the ice. I failed in congratulating him on the CBJ Community Award again. But I know that means a lot to him as well. But
complete package.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm so happy he's been a part of it. And Sieves was a part of it. We've started this thing, with Torts years ago. And it didn't really I always will want to do it and will do it. But the fact that Torts and Lars and JD and Z and Sieves and guys that have just jumped in. Like you said, he's 20 minutes away from teeing off. The season's over. And you reach out to him and said, yeah, I'll be happy to do it. Yeah. That's who he is. We'll come back. We'll tell the truth next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey friends, Beamer here. And nope, I'm not passing out draft predictions today. I'm making a bolder prediction, an opportunity, one might say. How about setting a goal to lose 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180? Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, right? 40 by the 4th. Imagine this. Your scale shows 230 today. How about watching that bad boy dip to a cool 190 by Independence Day? Or maybe it's reading over 300 like my scale did. How would it feel being 260 by the 4th and on your way to losing 70 pounds? Again, like I did with Awaken 180. Looking back, it took me only 8 weeks to drop my first 40 pounds, and with the same results, you'll crush that goal by the 4th. Then ring Independence Day in, shirt off, confident, crack beer, and a burger in hand. You can celebrate reaching your goal knowing you're going to keep the weight off, all thanks to Awaken 180's free support for life. Again, 40 by the 4th may seem crazy, but you can definitely do it. Set your goal and attain it with your long-term solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
May I have your attention for some important programming news? Sorry. T-Bone and Tyvus are hosting mornings, weekdays at 6, starting May 12th. That means Common Man and Timmy will share bro love at 3. The Fan,
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. For all your window needs, visit WindowNation.com.
All right. I guess we're going to fast forward. Wednesday is usually a day we do the 8 stretch truths and a lie or whatever you guys have it figured out to be now. It's 2 lies and a truth. Is that right?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm done with trying to figure this out. Anyway, I did it last week.
Mm-hmm.
The loose cannon's done it. You're up.
I fumbled today.
But with all the draft stuff, I think we fast forward this to tomorrow. It'll give you time to cook some things up.
I'll be ready. I already got my lie locked in.
We nailed.
You did that first.
Yeah, I thought that would be the hardest thing to come up with. So I will have those ready for you guys tomorrow, right around this time.
I mean, eventually we are going to run out of them, right?
Well, I think this could be like a one and done thing. We do it once because there's
just one lap.
Yeah, I kind of want to loop in some listeners on this and get them in on it and have them test us. I don't know how we can make that happen, but I would love to do that.
Them.
Or that. We can have a listener hit us with their 2 truths and a lie and get some listener engagement going with that. I think that could be fun. So we'll do some brainstorming.
What about the truth or dare idea I had with the listeners?
I don't think we need that. I don't think we
All
need
right.
that. What do you got, baby chat?
All righty, and I am on the wrong tabs. Let me get to where I need to be. All right, it is National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Ooh.
Cherry cheesecake is one of my favorite desserts on the planet. What are some of yours?
Would cherry cheesecake be considered like the OG of cheesecakes?
They got the New York style.
Strawberry cheesecake is the OG.
Strawberry would be the
yeah.
Okay.
Plain.
I'm not a big cheesecake guy.
I mean, not that I would have wanted.
Well, really, you know what? I lied because strawberry cheesecake technically is just a strawberry on top of the cheesecake, not in it, right?
A lot of these stores sell these multi-dimensional cheesecakes where they got
them in there.
Exactly, they got 4 different flavors and 2 slices of each.
Yeah.
Good for parties and stuff.
No doubt.
I may have cleared those out a couple times.
Maddie knows mine too. I can't lie. I mean, mine would be some sort of warmed up triple berry cobbler with a nice ball of vanilla ice cream on there.
Dollop.
Or that gold brick sundae, with the hard chocolate.
Yeah.
It just kind of
sexual chocolate.
The hard sexual chocolate that forms a shell over the ice cream.
Man.
Back in the old days, called Elmer's. I don't know if they may still be around, but those you gave me 2, and then there's probably a pie in there somewhere.
Apple?
No, I do like I like the Elegant Farmer, the apple pie in the bag from Whiskey, but I would say more of in the French silk or something like that. That kind of a pie.
Remind me of what your question was again, just so I answer this correctly.
Some of your favorite desserts that you used to eat that you won't ever again.
I don't need the power rankings. The stakes aren't that high.
Yeah.
I just need some that come to mind.
They're the combination of warm chocolate chip cookies and vanilla ice cream can never go wrong. The cookies have to be soft.
How about a skillet cookie?
See, here's my issue with that is I feel like I've got to rush a little bit with the ice cream on top because it melts so fast because it's usually so warm. I like it, but I don't like to be rushed with that. But it is good.
Throw that big skillet down.
Yeah, it's a win. It's a win. And then I'll go brownie and ice cream, but my mom and grandma used to make just yellow cake with chocolate icing, and that for me was just always an absolute win. So brownie ice cream, chocolate chip cookie ice cream, or yellow cake with chocolate icing, and your boy's living all right.
I have an important question. What is Brittany doing with her life?
Rest in peace, Mike Patrick.
You know what? We did not talk about him today.
I got 2 more drops with him coming.
Yeah, he was a pro. Pro's pro. When he and Vitale were teamed together and I was a student calling some games like student radio, I've got some pictures with Mike Patrick.
Really?
And I'll bring one in. I was,
I'll
tell you, that stung when I heard that yesterday. I know he was 80, but I didn't know if he was ill or not. And that one, I know he's not a household name. And maybe that's better that he isn't, because he was old school pro, Mike Patrick.
Oh, he and Todd Blackledge were great on ESPN together calling college football games.
No doubt. You guys are all over. He was a real one. He was good. Great at what he did, no doubt.
I like yesterday's. It was either yesterday or Monday. We had a fan poll brought to you by Caster Connection, which I didn't even get to, and I like that one. So either, neither, or both on this one. Now that the Blue Jackets are done, which playoffs are you interested in? NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs? And tell the truth. Don't be acting like, oh, yeah, I'm so into it, and then not watching anything at night.
I mean, this goes to personal preference. Maddie's a huge NBA guy. He knows I love the NHL. When I watched Vasilevsky get put on tilt last night, that was something wild. And for that guy to be giving up that many goals, and it's early, so now it's a pseudo must-win for Tampa on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Sure thing. So I think this is more personal preference. If you've listened to the show long enough, Maddie and I go pretty deep in the weeds on both those sports.
Yeah, I'll be locked in on a lot of the NBA until we get to the next round of NHL. Then I'll really start doing the both combination. But right now, out of the gates, I've been really charged up about what the NBA's got going on. It's just, for me, also like the Cavs. It's been an exciting year for them, right? To see them accomplish what they've accomplished, an in-state team being the best team in the league on the eastern side of things. I don't love AR that they're getting the NBA TV game tonight. Like, that's usually not what you want. Like, you want to be on TNT or ESPN, but because of the Cavs and Ohio roots and all that stuff, I'm right now locked in on the association.
Who was the guy, real fast, tell the truth, who was the guy for the Guardians that was wearing those, like, glasses? He looked like he was going to the beach.
Rocchio?
Yeah, Rocchio.
Yeah.
Rocchio's wearing sunglasses today to play in Major League Baseball, and it looks like he's just kicking it at some rooftop bar.
I'm mad at it.
No, it's
just different. It is. When you see it, you're like, wait a minute, those aren't traditional baseball frames.
Those aren't pillows
that he's got going on.
Let me check and see what he's batting right now, and then we'll decide whether he needs to ditch the glasses or not.
This may be the reason why he's wearing them today. I don't know.
237. It's not great, but
right.
it could be worse. All right. I guess
What
he's
is
allowed
she
to keep
doing
them.
with her career?
How about this, real quick? Who do you want your team to draft?
Well, I would love...
This is a better question for tomorrow, but...
Just real quick, knee-jerk, Derek Harmon, the guy from Oregon. We need some type of D-line help.
If the Vikings, who, by the way, only have 4 picks in the entire draft, because we gave away when we went up to get the McCarthy, and then we gave another one when we went up to get... who was that? Dallas? Who am I thinking of? Anyway, we don't have many picks. I would like, if you're leaning into JJ, then I'd like to get him a weapon, another one. Just keep compiling. Okay. I think we're going to need him.
If you guys miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of Rothman and Ice and the podcast. So don't move, folks. Common Man and T-Bone coming up next.
I was thinking of Dallas Turner. We moved up to get him.
Pass rusher for Bama?
So the Vikings, when they traded to get JJ at pick 10, then they traded with the Jags to draft Dallas Turner at 17. All right. One more day to mock it up, and then we'll know for real. We'll join you tomorrow at noon. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa Walking on pins and needles, nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Mix and match 5 or more items for just 99 cents each with your card. Choose Campbell's Soup, Kroger brand pasta, North Sides, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done, enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search, featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh yeah, Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner